she's there with her like family, and I have to go pee. So I'm peeing. I'm going to pee, and the whole family walks into the bathroom, and I'm kind of flirting with the woman, and they're all at the urinals. And I'm like, oh, her husband's here. Shit. But I'm standing right behind her, talking to her a little bit, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the husband does some kind of a prank where he like does some weird thing where he rubs his ass on the urinals and he flushes the toilet, and then shit just explodes all over the place. And he does. It's not his shit, but it was shit that was already in the urinal. So now all of us have shit all over us, and I have to. I take off my shirt, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I had a nice shirt on, and there was like flecks of shit all over it, and I had to walk out and like kind of wash myself off. So that was my dream.
And you're trying to flirt with this girl.
Trying to flirt. I was standing behind her, trying to flirt. And,
you're trying to kick it, and her husband, the old prankster, found the shit urinal and just made it blow up on everybody.
He didn't mean to do that though. No, but it was a prank. Oh. But that was a part of it that he didn't plan. Like I remember, like that was a mistake, and he just got it all over everybody. And there was more to it than that. Obviously, I don't remember more.
Sure. I love that because it's like the way the dream starts. It sounds like it's going to be one of those things where maybe you're going to wet the bed again because you have to go pee.
Right.
And then I don't know. At the end of it, I feel like I'd be if I woke up, I feel like I'd be super worried that I might have shit myself.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, but I didn't feel like that. No, I didn't feel like I had to shit, and I don't know what it means.
Right.
Maybe nothing, but it was gross. And there was somebody else there that they got it all over them too, and they had to like take their shirt off and like wash their like face and hair because there was shit all over the place. It was just a crazy.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds
crazy
like
restaurant.
a wild time. So when you're trying to flirt with the girl, is she in, like, is the bathroom part of the restaurant? Meaning, like, you didn't leave the girl to go into the bathroom. It's just one of those weird dream things where the urinals are on the wall of the restaurant type of thing?
No, we were all walking into the bathroom. I don't remember why we were going there. Like, again,
It's
there
probably
was another
pretty
part
telling.
of the dream, too. You know, the woman's at the urinal? Yeah, it certainly says a lot about me. But the fact that the whole family went in, and I was just, like, whispering to her and talking to her. It wasn't anything really sexual. It was just chatting. And that weird prank.
Okay. Because the whole family went in there, and there was a prank that was happening that you were not involved in. Maybe you feel like, the family represents life, and you're this outsider trying to catch up with things, and just when you think you're making some headway, somebody pulls a prank and explodes a shit urinal all over you.
That could be
maybe.
Or maybe it really is. Maybe there's really no hidden meeting. Like maybe I really am just afraid of flirting with a girl and having shit sprayed all over us accidentally and wrecking it. I hope it's more to it than that. It does sound like a chip prank. Yes, it does.
It does.
But I really don't remember anything else about it except for that. I woke up and go, I want to write the other part of this down, but I just forgot.
Well, I'm glad that you get on here right away so we can at least have some record of this, because you would forgotten that you had dream shit exploded all over you within 15 minutes.
I probably would have, yeah. It was
yeah, we all forget these.
Flecks of it. I was like, oh, fuck.
Right.
It's all over me.
Like when you eat the wrong thing and then you explode in the toilet and you look at like the bottom of the seat.
That's right.
Gets it, yeah, the ricochet effect.
Yeah, the splatter. That's exactly what it would. That's like when the blood splatter experts come in. That's what it's. That's what it's like.
Right, the splatter patterns.
The splatter patterns, exactly. And I did not watch the Golden Globes last night. I didn't forget they were on. I forgot they were on at first, but then at a few minutes, I was like, oh, yeah, those are on. And I looked at some of the winners. And I got to be honest, man, I really do love this is where you have to love Hollywood, because they talk so much about diversity, and it's really, really good to see them practicing such diversity. It's really nice to hear Hollywood talk about diversity and see them practicing it in their nominees and people and all the winners. It's really great to see them mixing it up.
Well, what's nice is that if you give statues to a very diverse group of people. You don't have to have a very diverse group of people giving the statues. The committee, everybody, all the white guys on the committee can all save their jobs if you just give the statues. You just keep the performers diverse, but not anybody that makes the actual decisions.
Yep.
You see, just give the statues out and just put on the appearance, right? Because what's the part that people see?
I don't even think the performers were that diverse. I would love to get a list of nominees. I heard they kind of passed up some shows, and there was like the complaints that you hear every year. And there was some black winners, but just not. It's just funny how they talk so much about everyone else should live, and that when it comes down to it, it's still, when they do it, it's the same people behind the scenes making the decisions, the same white people doing It's so funny how all they do is tell everybody else what we're doing wrong. And then they come out and do exactly. Why am I surprised Hollywood is full of shit? I don't know why that's surprised me. It shouldn't.
Because it gets to the point where it's like, it's almost insulting. Like, it's not even a secret anymore, and you're still doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like we all know what's going on now, and you still haven't stopped. Like, it's almost like they're testing to see how much they can get away with. And the answer is everything. You can get away with everything. You know, it's not going to be an issue. I knew, like, I didn't watch the whole thing by a mile. Like, when I was in bed at like 11 something, and I was looking at tweets, like I watched Sacha Baron Cohen's acceptance speech on Twitter in bed, because by then I had turned off the show. But I'm always interested in what he's got to say. But when I saw that it was posted like a minute ago, and I realized that it's still happening, I'm like, how long is this show going to go on for? Like, thank God I tapped out. I knew, first of all, it's a terribly produced show now. Like, it's all on Zoom. I'll tell you, the one person I think I have respect for in the whole operation, believe it or not, ironically, Jason Sudeikis, the person who appreciates Chip, the person, he's the one person I had respect for, because I'm watching, right? And all these celebrities. No, he just accepted Ted Lasso. He won an award for Ted Lasso.
Okay.
And all these celebrities are on Zoom, right? And so, like, they all spend all this money on a gown or a tuxedo that they're wearing in their house, which is ridiculous, completely insane. But they spend all this money on, like, they first of all, they make them sit on Zoom for the whole show. And when somebody's giving an acceptance speech, while the acceptance speech is happening, they keep flashing to the Zoom windows of the people who didn't win. So, like, you just have to sit there with that dumb Hollywood smile plastered on your face because, God forbid, they go to the shot of you feeling annoyed because you didn't want to be on Zoom tonight anyway. You dressed up in a stupid gown in your own house, and you're sitting. All you have to do is click off the computer, and you can go back to your life. But instead, you have to sit there while this other person makes a speech for an award you didn't win, and smile because they keep going to you. But Jason Sudeikis was the only one, because I'm watching, and they have spent all their money on gowns and looking great and making sure their speeches are right. But they all got their whack-ass webcams still. Almost nobody spent any money on a camera or looking good. Like, they're talking into a laptop mic with the built-in webcam. And it's like, why would you spend the money on a dress or a tux instead of just, like, you know, spend $1,000 on a nice mirrorless camera and have people be impressed by the way it looks? But,
here's the problem. They're used to people doing things for them. They're never used to having to set up any type of visual or audio. So usually you just kind of come in on the set and it's done. So now when you figure an award show, you figure even the award show would have went and made sure everybody had a tolerable microphone.
Well, they did it for Norman Lear, which is the right thing to do, because he got like a Lifetime Achievement Award. And he shouldn't have to at this point do anything for himself. But none of the nominees did, and they're sitting there like they literally got hair and makeup done to sit in their house on a webcam, where you like there's nothing you could do but look like shit on a webcam. That's just the way it is. Except Jason Sudeikis, who accepted his award wearing a tie-dye hoodie and was so clearly, in my opinion, stoned out of his mind when he
good for him.
Like,
Good.
I don't think he thought he was going to win because his eyes were totally red. He was wearing his tie-dye hoodie, and he was kind of like not as graceful going through his speech, but it was actually this moment of humanity where we're actually admitting what's happening. That he's stoned in his house in a tie-dye hoodie because this whole thing, like, let's not pretend we're watching a real award show here, you know?
Yeah, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, I was happy about it. I was happy.
Hey, how did Norman Lear sound? He's 98 fucking years old, which is just staggering. Did he? Because I'm watching like I told you, the Woody Allen documentary, and the voice. You can hear they're playing some of Woody's audiobook, and the voice is. I can't believe how old he sounds. Like I hadn't heard him talk in a while. How old does Norman Lear sound? Like, does he sound ancient, or does he still sound pretty lucid?
He doesn't sound 98.
Okay.
And he sounds he sounded lucid. He doesn't sound 98. I think I'll play a little bit of it
Yeah,
for
I'd love
you.
to hear it.
And again, poor Norman Lear's got to wait for got to figure out where the applause dies down, even though he's on satellite. But I'm sure there's somebody in his place, like pointing to him to tell him exactly when to talk.
Yeah.
Oh, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for this wonderful night. It knocks me out to be introduced by Amy Poehler and Tina Fey and to accept this award in the name of Carol Burnett. I could not feel more blessed. I am convinced that laughter adds time to one's life, and nobody has made me laugh harder. Nobody I owe more time to than Carol Burnett and the brilliant team that helped her realize her comedic genius. Speaking of teams, I've had a lifetime of partners, performers, associations, and creative talents for which I am eternally grateful.
So you kind of get, like, you know.
He sounds amazing. He's fucking 98 years old. Holy shit.
That's what I mean.
Wow.
Like, he doesn't sound like a young whippersnapper, but he definitely does not sound 98. And the way, like, his sentences are not only coherent, but they're pretty, like, they're real thoughts.
Yeah.
Of an intelligent person. It's pretty remarkable.
Amazing how good he sounds. Amazing.
Oh my God, he'll be 99 in July.
July what? Because my birthday's in July. I'm hoping Norman and I can celebrate together. Is he the 19th?
27th.
Great.
Close. He's like a 74-year-old son.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Insane. And it's not even like it's not even that crazy when you do the math. Like, okay, you had him at like 25.
That's totally acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, but when you have a 74-year-old son, it's like Norman Lear. If God forbid something terrible happened to his son, Norman Lear could be like, you know, you're never supposed to bury your children. And you go, Norman, I mean, normally, but you're not supposed to be 99 with a 74-year-old son either. That's not, this is nature. Like, this is at this point.
It's actually at a point where Norman could change his diapers again and go, you're still my little boy. It's crazy.
Yo, wouldn't it suck? Because you never know how it's going to happen. You never know when you're just going to become so old that you can't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at 70, like, you never know. I mean, Norman Lear is in real good shape for 99. Imagine if the son starts to become older, like feel older than the father. Because there's 74-year-olds that seem older than Norman Lear does right now.
Absolutely. And for him to be as crisp and concise in his talking, you know how people get when they get like real, and he just sounds fucking amazing. By the way, how did they get that applause so good? Where are those people? How do they get that perfect applause?
That's all canned.
It is. I figured. Okay. Because Hollywood people just love applause. They can't do it without the applause. They literally fucking can't, like the rest of us, they just can't pretend they're not getting the applause. They need the round of whoa. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about those dickheads, they need the applause. Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're doing it in sports, like, and you think this is the same thing, right? This is definitely, it just wouldn't be the Golden Globes without the sound of applause.
It's like, it is what it is. We all kind of have to deal with it. I just don't need it, I guess. I guess they do.
There was so much laughter in the monologue.
Oh.
Yeah, I do not need it for the Golden Globes.
Which it wasn't a bad monologue. It was Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. They're very funny. But, like, when they pan to the crowd and the crowd is, like a dozen tables of first responders, I know that they're not making that sound.
Oh, they had. Those are the people that they let into the audience.
Yeah, so they did it in 2 auditoriums. Like they did it in L.A. and New York. Between Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, one of them was in L.A. and one of them was in New York. And in both of the theaters, they let it looked like 12 to 15 people total.
Okay.
Into the place, and they all talked about how they were all tested, and the people at the table were wearing masks, and
why if they're tested? By the way, first responders probably have vaccination. It's all for a look.
This
is why they're so fucking hateable. They only have first responders because it gives them an excuse to have an audience because nobody can say, "Hey, don't have an audience." They go, "But they're first responders." That's just their excuse to have an audience. Which, hey, good for the first responders, but God, what fucking nonsense.
You don't think half these famous people sitting at home on Zoom got vaccinated because they know somebody? Most of them have been vaccinated, but they can't say they were vaccinated. Instead, they got to sit in their living room with a mask on, as if that's what they're doing. Because
wait, they didn't have masks on in their houses.
No.
Oh, okay, scared.
They didn't. They weren't wearing. But
okay.
Seeing the masks in such a controlled environment, like in the auditorium, I was like, guys, come on! You're not sitting strangers at tables with each other. And then I think that the people walking the celebrities onto the stage were wearing a mask.
And
but the celebrity. Oh, that's right. Oh, it was so stupid. Yeah, I noticed it when I can't
Jane
remember
Fonda.
which actress. That's what it was. That's exactly right. Jane Fonda comes out on stage, and the guy is there in the tuxedo to, it's a Hollywood event. He's gonna kind of whatever. He's supposed to hold her by the arm so she can get to the microphone, and he's wearing not only a mask, but a face shield. And it's just test the guy before he goes out. Why would you have such a high-risk escort to the microphone?
All appearance. That's why, by the way, they probably could have gotten a decent amount or some of them into an audience, but they don't want to wear masks. They literally don't want to cover themselves up on their big night. They don't want to have to walk on stage in a mask and talk in a mask. I guess they had to have somebody in person, but it's just funny to watch them try to. They try to act like they're just, hey, we're like you guys, but then it's like, no, you're not.
No, they're not even. They're not even trying to be like us. They're trying to lead us. There you
go. Yes.
They're trying to. Well, we're not. We don't need masks, but we're the role models.
Right.
So we need to wear masks so everybody else does. It's like the politicians that are like, well, you can't have people over your house. And then the next thing you know, it's like, well, the screen door was cracked, so it's okay that I had 200 people at my house. Oh, okay. All right, I didn't realize that we can trust you, the politician, because you're so smart. But us normal people, we just don't know how to behave in groups, so we gotta cool out. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to hang in for the whole show when, I watched, 2 minutes of one of the red carpet shows just because I wanted to see. What are they I saw on the TV Guide thing that they were doing a red carpet show. I'm like, there's not even a red carpet. What are they doing?
Right.
And it was you'd have the reporter on the red carpet, and I don't know why they set it up because the reporter would just go to Zoom, just go to talk to people on webcams. And I'm like, why do they make that reporter go to the red carpet just so she can Zoom with somebody? And then these actors would be on Zoom going well, I think, the beauty of tonight in an event like this is we've all had such a tough year, and to get to share this with everybody is just it's so great. And I'm sitting there going do you think there's one person out there who after a year of this shit that we've all been going through is going, thank God Hollywood still gave me the Golden Globes. Thank God these actors are still there to accept awards so that I may watch them. Thank God for that.
They really don't understand that by and large, we hate their fucking guts. We really hate them. And we enjoy their work. But they don't seem to understand that every time, that when they in the beginning of the pandemic, when they did that fucking Imagine, what is it, the song they sang? The Gift.
Yes.
The way
gift
people felt about that That's kind of the way people feel about them all the time. That was a great microcosm of how people feel about, and I know it's really cliche, people in Hollywood, but the people that are at these every year, the group, we all know who kind of like, when I'm talking about celebrities, we all kind of know like who I mean, the group of people I mean, the attitude I mean, the behavior I mean. Everybody hates your fucking guts. Nobody really likes you. We enjoy your work. You're talented people. You do things that none of us can do. But no one really enjoys watching you celebrate each other. Nobody really enjoys. That's why every year the only thing people enjoy is watching Gervais go up and humiliate you. That's what people enjoy, except for the shit LA Times. This could have been an evening of important political speech. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. We hate you too. Shut the fuck up. That's but true. Why do you think that everybody, they should, and again, I have nothing against Amy or Tina Fey, but Gervais goes up and is just fucking mean to them. Why do you think that resonates? First of all, he's funny. And second of all, we love watching somebody be mean because we hate your fucking guts. We don't like you. We don't like you. So we don't need to see you celebrate. We don't feel good watching you celebrate your accomplishments. Nobody is moved by your speeches. No one. Now, I know Chadwick Boseman won. I'm sure that was a nice moment because he died. People liked him. He's a great actor. Okay. Norman Lear accepting something, I'm sure, makes people feel good. Because, again, Norman Lear never embraced that fake polite shit. He was funny. Was Carol Burnett there? Was Carol Burnett there? Because you mentioned the Carol Burnett Award. Oh, it was in her name, the award.
No, it was the Carol Burnett Award, but she wasn't there. But I will say this. I'm watching this, and this is one thing that bugged me, too. I'm watching this, and they're showing some really hilarious clips from All in the Family as Norman Lear's accepting it. Like some really, really good Archie Bunker lines. Like there was one where... I don't want to ruin it. I'm not going to even try to...
Go ahead, try it. I mean, I don't know what's line you mean. I might have seen it.
Well, it was like I don't even remember the ethnicity of the guy in the elevator, right? But it was like Archie and a black guy and another guy of a different ethnicity in the elevator. And he's
Puerto
like...
Rican?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. That's what it was. Yep.
Is this the baby episode where the baby is born in the elevator? It's a very famous episode.
It could have been. It was just a real quick clip. And the Puerto Rican guy goes like... Hey man, I don't know why you talk to us like that. I'm the same as you. I'm equal to you. And Archie goes, equal to me? You're not even equal to him. And he points to the black guy in the
How come you didn't say it like Archie?
I'm not gonna do an Archie Bunker impression.
You have to, so people know they're painting a picture. That's what we do.
I'm not an impressionist.
You're not even equal to him.
You're not even equal to him. But I'm watching this, and like you're watching those clips, and everybody's like, "Oh, thank God, Norman Lear was such a trailblazer, and he said the things that people were uncomfortable with saying at the time." And it's like you're still uncomfortable with saying this. There's no way that show goes on the air with that scene. That scene that you just showed in the context of presenting that man an award is not on television today. There's no way.
You're showing. That's a great point. You're showing something that was trailblazing, and then he blazed the trail, and then you fucking put underbrush over it again. You fucking idiots. You fucking idiots. That's a great point. They would never show or write jokes like that anymore. And again, he was pointing out like bigotry. And the thing about All in the Family that was so great was that Archie was like, he was a bigot. He didn't hate black people, but he showed you how bigotry works in a lot of people and how you don't even realize that you feel that way. You don't even realize that you're not being nice to blacks or Puerto Ricans or women or whoever because of your attitudes. Like he showed that because Archie was a real person. He was a likable guy. And you realize he's not a monster at home. He loves his wife. He loves his daughter, but he insults everybody. And he doesn't even realize that he's that way. Like he really thinks that his way is correct.
Yeah, and like you showed his opinions as like he's a human being who's not this like this monster or this idiot like you said he was. He's just a misguided human being, and then so much of the funny was at his expense for not understanding how awful the things that he was saying were. That it's like, but that's the thing that we've lost is like you can't get to step one. Like the whole point was like he would say the thing. and then you laugh because it's so bad what he's saying. Like that you can't say that. That's awful. And like that's the joke. But we can't say the thing because we're all so worried about the one guy who's going to be like, it's funny because it's true, right? And we're like, no, it's funny because it's a bad thing. Like, we're so worried about the one idiot, funny but it's true guy, funny because it's true guy, that, you know what, let's just protect the idiot. Let's just make sure that we don't mislead the idiot, and we'll do it at the expense of all of us people that have brains that understand the way things are.
And it's a funny line. Like, it's just a funny, right? Like, you look at the line, you know, you're not even equal to me, you're not even equal to him. I mean, that's just a funny line to say about anybody for a guy. And for Hollywood to reward that guy, it really is funny. Like, you guys aren't doing anything that he fucking pushed through. All you have done is close up this fucking, he blasted through and you closed it right up behind him. It's so funny. Fucking idiots.
He's sitting there.
And they give an award. They show lines that they can't do anymore. They're showing lines that they would never do now, that you would get canceled for, that people would be upset about.
And they're calling him a trailblazer. And I mean,
brush right back onto it. They throw the bushes.
It's the perfect analogy. Like somebody goes up to it, and it's like he's gonna come back and go, "Didn't I make it? Wasn't there a trail here? Oh yeah, we covered it up for you. Don't worry about that. It's not there anymore."
Somebody blogged about it. We covered this trail up, and we decided that we can no longer talk that way because you're a bad person if you do, and we're going to cancel you if you do. What are you doing with him?
Right.
Oh, we're giving him an award. Because he said the stuff before anybody said it. Just want to bunch of it. That's why everybody hates Hollywood. That's why people hate them.
It makes no sense. Like, there's no logic to any of it. Like, you would have loved that part because they actually gave props to Maude. And you're just the biggest Maude fan I know, and nobody gives props to Maude anymore.
That's
people,
right.
you know, B. Arthur comes up, and all anybody ever talks about is the Golden Girls. Nobody talks about Maude. But they showed the scene where Maude is talking about getting an abortion. And like it's quiet and it's slowly paced and there's not a laugh every 10 seconds. And I'm like, there's no way that abortion conversation is happening on a network sitcom in 2021. It is not happening. That you can't give somebody an award for being a trailblazer if you did not follow the trail.
Wait a minute. They show Archie, who was an older, not particularly attractive guy. They showed B. Arthur, who was older, not particularly attractive. And they did shows like Good Times, where they were older, not particularly attractive folks. They did The Jeffersons, where they were older, not particularly attractive folks. You mean all these brilliant things worked, and they took the formula, and they looked at it, and they went, okay, these are some of the funniest shows ever written. These are older, kind of unattractive people saying kind of real things. That's great formula. There you go. I wish I would have had a better sound. They ripped it up and they stopped doing it. Now it's everything is let's get a young, good-looking person to come in and throw out some lame fucking line, with some fucking candle. He showed you how to do it. He did it for. Oh, they said he had what, like 90 million viewers a week or something over all of his shows. Like, don't you understand what worked? Like, they were regular people. They were older people. Not that younger people can't have a show, but it was not this youth obsession that they have now. That the youth obsession.
But you could have both, too.
Sure you could.
Like, there were young people on All in the Family. Like, there were good-looking people on the show. It's just that, you know, the leads were not good-looking young people. Like, you allowed the old, normal-looking people to just be good actors and have funny dialogue, you know? Like,
and they were regular good looking. By the way, Sally Struthers and Rob Reiner were regular good looking people. And so was the kid or the guy who played the son Lionel.
True.
You know, in Good Times they were better looking kids. The three of them were good looking. But it was not like staggering. They still looked like good looking people who were regular people. They didn't look like fucking mannequins that just walked in off a modeling shoot. Like, they weren't gorgeous.
Right.
You know,
saying
little cute, quirky things. And everyone, like, when you hear that joke, you know why people laughed at that. Like, you hear that, you're like, of course I get why people laughed at that. But you watch, like, certain shows, like, I don't get why people are laughing at this. It's terrible. It's soft.
Right. You're like, I wonder if people really are laughing at this. I mean, they must be, right? But this is, like, one of the things I noticed and it's very kind of Hollywood. And I think I knew exactly what was going on when they did it. So they introduced Norman Lear with this package of all of his work. And there was like an odd amount of time showing footage of the shows that they did, like the live remakes that they did a couple of years ago with Jamie Foxx and Woody Harrelson and the stars of today. And like nothing against Jamie Foxx or Woody Harrelson, obviously they're great, but I'm like, you're just airing this because you think people have forgotten about those shows. Like you're just airing this so there's some celebrities from today in this guy's package instead of just being like, hey, here's B. Arthur knocking home runs, you know?
And they're also, and it's also a subtle thing where this is their way of telling themselves, see, he blazed a trail and we're still following it. No, the fuck you're not. That's their way of self-deluding into thinking that they're still doing this stuff. But they're kind of being sneaky about it. That's their way of trying to make it, again, more relevant for people who might not remember those shows. But it's also their way of convincing themselves that they're still taking the baton he handed them and running with it. Where not only are they not running with the baton anymore, they've dropped it and purelled their hands and apologizing for holding it to begin with. They are not following in the path that he fucking created for them at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other, I thought of you because I came to a realization as I was watching this. I was, yes. It was just as the pre started to build. I thought of you because I think we had a similar conversation when La La Land started winning awards, and like I'm sure I argued with you then because I actually liked La La Land. I liked the musical and everything.
Sure.
But Soul won an award for like best animator or whatever it was, right? And I'll get to the thing. But I thought of you because when the guy who won the award won it, he was like, who would have thought that a story about jazz in 2021 would be able to win this award? And it hit me. These guys love to pretend that they're jazz fans. These guys, La La Land, Soul, it makes them feel smarter. They love to pretend that they get and understand and listen to jazz. I'm sure that the guy who made Soul is a jazz fan. I'm sure that the guy who made La La Land is a jazz fan. But beyond that, everybody, those movies are giving so many people excuses to pretend that they like jazz so that their friends think that they're artistic and smart. And they don't like jazz.
Jazz fucking stinks. And by the way, here's who loves jazz. The older producers who are the money people behind these films. They're the ones who love jazz and are putting up the money for them. And it also makes people feel like they're telling a story about jazz. It makes them feel like they're doing real work. It's about the work. It's about the work. Like they're telling a tale about jazz. Nobody needs to hear a story about jazz. No one gives a fuck. No one needs to hear a story about fucking jazz. If it's an interesting story, fine, tell it. But don't act like you're doing anything because you're telling a story about jazz. No one gives a shit. I would much rather hear a story about fucking Ozzy licking up Nikki Sixx's piss than some guy that would booby-dooby-dooby-doo in a fucking basement. Jazz guys are boring. They didn't fucking... Rock guys are much more interesting because the nonsense they did and the amount of fucking drinking they did and the fucking hotel rooms they destroyed. Who wants to hear about some jazz guy that shot heroin twice? Fucking killed himself.
I was going to say, some of the old jazz guys were interesting. Like the heroin-addicted jazz guys were interesting. But no, the modern-day jazz is not interesting. And every time you put out one of these movies, like you're going to put out a jazz movie now every 4 years or so, and it's not the return of jazz. It's not. People aren't going to start buying jazz albums. You're not going to go back to hearing jazz on the radio outside of the public access radio channels. Like it's not going to happen because people don't like it. People pretend to like it, but they don't. You like it because you're supposed to like it because it's theoretically where all music comes from is jazz. And they're like, oh yeah, I can appreciate this. Then why don't you ever actually listen to it? You don't like jazz. Knock it off.
It makes people feel smart to like jazz. Yeah, and I'm sick of hearing about it. We know the jazz musicians. We know they're great. We know they're good musicians. Yes, no one's saying they're not. And I'm sure there's some people that love. But like, who would have thought we'd be telling a story about jazz? anyone who knows anything about Hollywood would have thought that.
Yes.
I would have delivered that just the opposite. Oh, who would have thought? We're telling a story about jazz in 2021. Like, of all the things I don't want to hear about, jazz. I'd rather watch a love story between two ISIS members than fucking a rom-com, an ISIS rom-com, than fucking jazz. Show me that. Show me a romantic comedy about one of these fucking stupid British or Australian girls that run off to join ISIS, and then she winds up getting impregnated by some commander and being stuck there and going like, oh, this is terrible. Show me a movie about that. That I would be interested in watching.
Yeah, the love of your life has left you, and she's now living in Al-Qaeda mountains.
Yeah. Exactly. And you think her husband is monitoring her texts. Yeah, something like that.
Of your life has left you, and she's now living in Al-Qaeda mountains.
Yeah. Exactly. And you think her husband is monitoring her texts. Yeah, something like that.
So Tracy Morgan he's a genius. If anything, he cemented himself as a national treasure last night. First of all, like I thought his opening joke was funny enough. His opening joke was great. He goes, he's like, his opening joke was something to the effect of, I just heard on the news that because of herd immunity, we'll be done with COVID in April because of herd immunity. Yeah, it's true. And he goes, and then my cousin told me that by May, because of herd immunity, we'll be done with gonorrhea. And it was like just doing a gonorrhea joke.
Yep.
On the Golden Globes. I was like, I have a deep respect for you, Tracy Morgan. But I didn't know my respect could get as grand as it did when he read the winner of original score for a motion picture. And this is what he read. I believe this is it.
And the Golden Globe goes to Sal.
We must follow our dreams because
He mispronounced soul.
Sal?
He said Sal.
You do realize you called him a genius a minute ago?
He opened the envelope and said Sal.
Sal.
Oh, Tracy. What a wonderful, wonderful gift.
And the Golden Globe goes to Sal.
See, that's when you know, the moment that you know it wasn't a bit, like he wasn't trying to be silly, is when he goes, tss, like that tiny little laugh that he does when he realizes what a stupid mistake he just made.
And then he says soul, right? He does say it.
Yeah, and then he says soul as like I guess the speech was pre-recorded.
Sure.
Because some of them were. And, yeah, they started the speech, but if you listen as the speech starts, you can hear him under him going, soul.
Goes to Sal.
we must follow our dreams because
And the guy's going, we must follow our dreams.
Yeah, he doesn't realize that he's like trying to be poignant as Tracy Morgan just pronounced the word soul. Soul. It's a 4-letter word, man. It's not.
Yeah, it's not a tough one.
No, it isn't. But yeah, that was the one. Like, I was glad I was watching when that moment happened. But I mean, I turned it off pretty quick after that moment. I was like, I can't just sit here and watch a bunch of Hollywood people on a webcam in tuxedos accepting trophies and talking about how this is the time we all need to get together. I'm like, are these the same speeches from last year? Like, it's just, we need to save the planet. We all need to get together. There's too much divisiveness. All right. Thank God you're here to light the way for us.
And that's the funny part. There's too much divisiveness. The fucking, the group who has the 98% the same ideology. Again, that's fine, but don't act like you welcome all ideas. Shut the fuck up. Just stop trying to lead everybody. Nobody needs your leadership. No one.
That's what they're saying. They're like, if you would just do what we all do,
right,
we wouldn't be arguing so much.
That's a great point.
Like, if you we are all on the same page here. If you would just get on this page,
sure,
we wouldn't all be arguing. Like, come on, we figured this out for you guys.
And I have nothing against them. Look, activists, they have as much right as anybody else does to fucking give their opinions and to be involved. Martin Sheen, is one of my favorite people in history, and all he does is chain himself to tree. All right, hey, that you're an activist, that's what you do. But that's
real.
It's real, and it's when they stand there, and we don't need your guidance. We really don't.
No.
We don't require your guidance. We're not interested in your guidance. It's pretty boring most of the time and predictable. Like, don't take yourselves so seriously to think that you're going to really change the way the rest of us feel. You're not. You're really not.
Like, I don't mind so much, like when Vincent D'Onofrio starts going off, or when, what's his name, who played the Incredible Hulk?
Edward
you know what I'm talking
Norton.
about. No, the other one.
Mark
the good
Ruffalo.
one. Yeah. I don't mind when Mark
Bixby.
Ruffalo starts, like, yeah, Bill Bixby. Because, like, Mark Ruffalo's kind of
Joaquin
nuts.
Phoenix.
Joaquin. Mark Ruffalo's kind of nuts. So, like, I feel like where he comes from, that actually is in his head. Like, he's not trying to fit into anything. Because, like, he goes too far more often than not. And you're just like, I don't mind when somebody's, like, actually speaking their true feelings. What I don't like is when it's like, you're just a dude. You don't have to get up on a pedestal because you want to be the most righteous of all. Like, you don't have to do this. Like, there's a difference to me between somebody who's like this is their life. Like, Bo Derek loves animals. She loves animals. That's what she does. If she won an award and she got on stage, she would talk about animals because that's what she talks about in her life. I don't have any issue with that. If you sat down with Mark Ruffalo, you'd probably get 10 seconds in before he started telling you all the ways that things are off, and he'd sound like a maniac. But that's who he is, right? He's a maniac.
Yeah.
It's the people who, like, you're looking at them and it's like, you're not that guy. Like, it's okay. Like, we could just appreciate your work. We like the movie. You don't have to tell us how to live our life.
Even people that are committed, after 5 minutes, I think, just shut the fuck up. Even people that really believe it, I find myself, because, again, what they're trying so hard to do, and I guess we all do it, is have that moment where you give yourself over to them. And you go, oh, my God, you've said it correctly. Oh, my God. Like Bobby Fischer talked about when he would beat people at chess. It was that moment. What he loved so much about beating somebody was the moment that their will collapses. And that's what people are trying to do when they are just always, they're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to collapse your will into recognizing that they have led you, or that they have guided you, or that they have finally said this thing in a way that no one has said it to you, where you go, oh my God, you're right. Oh now I see it. So it really is just self-serving fucking horseshit. But we all do it. So again, I'm guilty of it too. You're guilty. Every person does it, and I'm okay with that. But after a while, you just got to realize you're not changing one fucking mind. I am not changing. I talk on the radio every day. I'm not changing one fucking mind. Some people enjoy what I say. Some people think I'm a fucking complete blithering asshole. I'm not going to change anybody's mind, though. That's not what our job is.
Right. No. It really isn't. It really isn't. I don't know what our job is, but that's not it. Whatever our job is, that's not it.
Whatever our job is, we're terrible at it. But it's to be like, give your opinion and stuff, but just realize that you're not going to, we're not going to fucking start a movement. No one's going to look at us and go, my God, you've said it right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I can't believe they made Al Pacino sit in a Zoom window and then they didn't give him an award.
No, I know.
Like, what are you making him go on Zoom for? Just put a picture of him up. Be like, just tell him in advance, Al, you're not getting the award. If you want to be on Zoom, you can. But we're not going to make you sit in your living room. He doesn't want to be there. Like I said, there were all these goofy celebrities that had like 15 family members in the room with them, which to me just feels like hell. I can't imagine inviting my family over to watch the award show that I was nominated for. Because worst case scenario, you lose, and it's like, well, at least the food was good. And best case scenario, you win, and like, it's an award for your work. Like, your family can be proud of you, but do you, as a Hollywood person, right? Like, I feel like the stuff that we get to do, Jim, on a daily basis leads me to this place that, like, when my wife goes, "Do you want a birthday party?" I go, I don't need a party in my honor.
No.
Like, my life is not that
No.
tough. I
When
really,
you die, then
I don't
the
need
rest
a
of us will
date.
have a party.
That's right. A death day party is what everybody's been waiting for. But like I don't need a day to celebrate the fact that I was put on this planet. I mean,
Sure.
it's a very nice thought, and I appreciate, people who come with well wishes and stuff, but I don't need to throw a party in my own honor, right? And so, like, people, I can't imagine being nominated for an award and then making the phone call or having somebody make the phone call. Hey, I'd like to have a whole bunch of people over here to celebrate me as we find out if I get my award.
Right.
It's like, what? That's so uncomfortable. It's just an uncomfortable thought.
It's really stupid. And they probably do know who won if they have pre-taped speeches. I mean, so they obviously have told them that they've won.
Only like a
The
couple were pre-taped.
Yeah, the musicians
must
had
know, though.
pre-taped speeches. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think Al
because they
Pacino
had
knew. I
multiple
don't think-
people accepting for the same award.
Yeah, when they had multiple people accepting, that was pre-taped. But, like, the individual winners, because, like, I don't think Donald Sutherland is getting on Zoom to lose. I don't think Al Pacino is getting on Zoom to lose.
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray was on. They got Bill Murray on Zoom. Did a Hawaiian shirt. His speech would have been hilarious. He was had the outside behind him, and it's like, who cares who was the best? You have the opportunity to talk to Bill Murray for a few minutes on Zoom. Just give him the statue so he talks. What does Bill Murray have to say? I want to know.
Who won in the category that Sutherland was nominated in?
I don't remember. I'm sure I can look it up.
Chadwick Boseman?
I saw him. Was that Chadwick?
I think so.
Let me look it up. But
I
of
noticed
course,
Frances McDormand was not part of that shit. She was not even showing up.
good for her.
Yep.
Good for her, because she's out living in a caravan right now. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm done with this. This nomad land stuff was right. I'm going to go out. And she's like our old producer, Adrian. She got a van and a dog, and she's out of here. She's going whitewater rafting. She's done with business. She's done. Yeah, and I respect there were like a couple people who didn't sign on to Zoom that they just had a picture of. And I couldn't have more respect for those people. That's exactly what you should do, especially if you don't think you're going to win. Yeah, Donald Sutherland looked unamused. I did notice that. He looked skinny, too. He looked skinnier than when we had him in studio.
Oh, it was for TV. Dan Levy didn't win. John Boyega won. His category.
Oh, my. Did you just confuse John Boyega and Chadwick Boseman, Travis?
I'm very problematic.
This is so toxic right now. This is
Who did he
this is bad.
confuse?
Yeah, you're right. John Boyega won. John Boyega is the actor who was in he was in the Star Wars movie. Chadwick Boseman was the Black Panther.
I knew that.
And it's very, very problematic that especially as a Marvel fan that Travis got those two confused. I'm very
What did John
very
Boyega win
disappointed.
for?
That I don't know.
Small Axe.
Okay.
AXE.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't see it, so
It's on Amazon.
I didn't know. But yeah, like, I mean, come on, like, you make Donald Sutherland put a tuxedo on and go into his library. He wouldn't have even watched this show.
The man can fart on
Hey,
command.
Chad.
Why don't you give him the award?
Oh,
It's all I thought about. It's all I thought about when I saw him. All I thought about was if he wanted to rip one right now, he just could. He's amazing. He was in our studio, and we asked him straight up, I heard you could fart on command. And you know what he did? He farted. He's incredible. He's an incredible, incredible talent, Donald Sutherland. I never even
Every
seen a
minute. movie
he was in. But
Really?
he can. No, I've seen his movies. But he
Every
can
thi-
fart on command.
That means every minute he's got one brewing, and he's all his acting. All those are moments in JFK and Ordinary People and Little Murders and all these other things he's done. All of those moments, he is literally just leaning forward, being careful not to push a certain way, lest a gasser sneak out. I mean, how does anybody not love Donald Sutherland?
You think in like Normal People or something, he had a scene, and somebody was like, "Man, I can't believe your
ordinary
ability to
people,
normal
whatever, people,
bro." Well, bro, like I'm sitting there watching Ordinary People on a Saturday night. Like, what am I going to rewatch this thing?
No,
It's from 1972.
No, it's 1980. One raging. It's one Best Picture. No, one Best Picture and Best Director over Raging Bull. Mistake.
Not better than Raging Bull.
No, very good though. No, but again, people just saw themselves.
It is a good
in
movie.
Yeah,
But I'm not going to sit there and watch it. But it is a good movie, and it's a good performance. And I wonder if they asked him, like, it's amazing. Like, how do you have the ability to cry on command like that? And Donald just leans in and he goes, "You think that's impressive?"
yeah.
It's amazing. A lot of actors can cry on command.
Yeah.
Not many can flatulate on command.
Yeah, that's an amazing gift that I wish I had. I would rather have that. I would rather have that than the ability to cry on command. I would much rather be able to fart on command. That's an amazing gift. I would use that in every performance. The mafia don who farts, the guy who's the mayor who farts, the guy at the wake who farts. I would use it in my work.
You would insist on it.
I would insist on it, and it would just be to make people around me. They don't have to say how I make everyone around me better because they have all these emotions and things they have to do to navigate. That's what real people fart. They don't have to try to spin it.
Well,
gift.
what I want to do is I want to show how powerful the Godfather actually is by making it so that he farts when he gives his orders. And nobody says anything. The rest of the mafia can't comment on the fact. And maybe maybe we write in another scene where they go, "Oh, did you hear the Don farting in there?" But they never say it to his face. I think it's necessary to really. It's about the power dynamic ultimately.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop a guesser he can't avoid. Something like that. Yes.
That's very good.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you mean? I mean, good for him that he can
That
fart.
he made
and
it.
get
That
an
he was
award,
there.
but
Yeah. I mean, I know he didn't win, but still.
Just an honor to be nominated. I heard.
They all say it. It's not true, but they all say it.
No, it isn't. When you're Donald Sutherland or when you're Al Pacino, I'm like, don't make Al Pacino go to this show. Or what? Like, it really does bug me. The what's his name, Mr. Ghostbuster. Bill Murray.
Hudson?
Groundhog Day. Dan Aykroyd. What's his name? The Bill Murray. He never does this stuff. You never have Bill Murray at this stuff. He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't go to award shows. He doesn't do anything. Somebody told me a story that he doesn't even have an agent. He has a voicemail box, and that's why he accidentally did the movie Garfield. He didn't
That's
realize that
because he thought somebody else was doing. He thought somebody else was the director, I think.
And then he got on set and he had
on.
already signed. And then they were like, "No, this is Garfield, the movie about the orange cat, with Odie."
Oh,
And he was
the
like,
president.
yeah, he thought it was
Andrew Garfield. Oh no.
Yeah. He wanted to make a dramatic turn, and he didn't realize it was the cat movie. But yeah, I mean, he's just the greatest. You had the opportunity. You're like, we could get 2 minutes with Bill Murray, or we give the award to somebody else. Like, come on, guys, what are we doing here? What kind of decision making is this?
Yeah. Yep, I'm just looking at the picture of Pacino on his couch, looking unhappy.
Yeah, you don't want to be there.
No.
Because you think about it, you've all been there. Because I think, because you go, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's just on Zoom. It's not like they have to leave the house. They don't have to go to the auditorium. But the thing is, when you're on Zoom and you don't want to be on Zoom, you know that you are one button away from being at home. If you would just let me push this button, I could leave the room and immediately be at home. You're stopping me right now, in this moment. It's not that oh, if I leave now, I could get in the car and I could go through traffic and then I could get home and I could do. It's 1 second after I push this button, I could be in the living room doing whatever I want to do. And you're stopping that from happening.
One cord kick away from being home. Just one fucking boot. The fucking power plug or the ISDN line or whatever they're hooked up to. One little kick, and you're out of this whole fucking awful experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Al Pacino, I'm definitely faking old man technical difficulties or something like that.
Yeah.
And just spazzing out. Because, I mean, it was so annoying when they would go to these faces on Zoom as the other person was accepting an award. I can't believe I watched as much of it as I did, to tell you the truth. I should not
I'm
have all
impressed.
this information. Yeah.
I am impressed that you did it.
Dude, I watched the whole thing.
How late did it go?
Huh?
How late did it go?
Little after 11.
Yeah.
Did
Ridiculous.
Sacha Baron Cohen say he's not doing these anymore because it's, or he had said that before, it's too dangerous?
You said that
Was
last
something he
week.
had said? Oh, he did last week. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't say it at the Globes, yeah. But he said it last week. Yeah, I think his speech was funny. It was, it was comedy. It was good.
Okay, great. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah,
I like his
I think
work.
he's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're always kind of worried that he's going to get a little preachy and political when he's not in character. But luckily, it was more
Great.
It was more funny than preachy. So I was like,
Awesome.
okay, I'm good with it. And I was happy
yeah.
that Borat won. I mean,
Sure.
he deserves. I mean, I'm kind of like, I kind of think that girl who was in Borat 2 with him should have won an award, because it's kind of amazing how she was able to like maintain that character when this isn't what she does, and this is her first big, at least American movie. But somebody else won that. I don't remember who won that award. I'm just glad they still, with all the diversity and all the awareness now, they still put actors and actresses in different categories, because, men and women, it's definitely not equal when it comes to playing make-believe on camera. Like, there's no way you could put men and women in the same category for this. There's a clear genetic difference, right?
Sure. Well, men can only play certain roles. I love that. Yeah. Hey, when are they going to stop doing that? They're going to eventually be forced to stop doing that and give out half their fucking awards. Or which is so funny because, again, they've signed up for this obsessive head nodding and fake politeness. And if Potato Head is now the name of a creature that had no genitals to begin with, if
He
we are
identified
now
as male
determining,
already.
well, he did identify as male, but if we have to take the Mister off of that lump of shit Potato Head, then there's no way they're going to be able to do actor and actress categories for long. And I'm glad. Now you fucking idiots are going to have to navigate this.
Well,
they're going to probably have twice as many best performer. How are they going to do? They're going to cut their fucking awards in half.
They'll give out 2 awards, I bet.
How?
No,
Best
like
actor A,
they'll
Best
combine
actor
all
B.
the nominees, and then they'll just give out 2 awards, and then it'll be a problem when more men win.
Best actor will be one woman, one man. I don't understand. How are they going to do that? They're going to have to cut it in half.
What are you going to do when you have to nominate somebody that's non-binary and identifies as they? How are you going to do it? What category?
Wasn't that an issue like 2 years ago or something? Like one of the
isn't the
somebody
performer in
from
Billions?
like Orange is the New Black?
Billions. I think Billions, right? I think she's in Orange is the New Black too. Or
Billions.
How are
You
they
may have been
identified?
right. Yeah.
I think, but no, I think they're in. I think they might be in both, but they're
But you're right. Yeah.
definitely in Billions. They identify as non-binary. I don't want to misgender them, but yeah. So what do you do? What category does that performer
How about it?
get nominated in?
How about there isn't one yet? I mean, what are we going to do? It's fucking crazy.
Look, I mean, you can't. You got to practice what you preach.
They do, yes, absolutely. They
Yes,
have
that's
to.
what I mean.
They have to practice what they preach. And how about this? No more gender categories
No more.
for these fucking fakes. I mean, good. I mean, let's do that. All you're doing is talking about how, well, we can't appropriate this and we can't appropriate that. I mean, it's all white people. We can't appropriate that. Okay, fine. One category, no more genders. Give out half of your stupid awards. Wrap these award shows up in 90 minutes, and half the awards are given out. You lose half the applause. Good.
You lose half. Yeah. And half the
Good.
awards. But they're big money makers, these award shows. So maybe they'll try to write like double the comedy bits, because that's really what these award shows need, is more filler, like more filler pieces. Because I don't think they're willing to cut their award shows in half. That's probably why they haven't done it yet. They are not willing to go less than 3+ hours. A little after 11, which, as you said, Travis, when you said, "Oh, it ended a little after 11," that you did it with a tone of, it's not so late, because by award show standards, that's not so late. But that's still 3+ hours of watching people on Zoom get statues.
Yeah.
And you know it can be less because they still did a terrible comedy bit with Kenan Thompson and Maya Rudolph.
What was the bit?
I love.
We're both
it was,
hilarious.
Yeah, I love Keenan. I love Maya, but it was just like, it was just, here's an uncomfortable award speech acceptance. Sometimes they're uncomfortable, and here's one. And
it was like 5
NBC,
minutes.
NBC, by the way, they have put all their chips in the Keenan business. They are big in the Keenan business. They have finally decided to pull the trigger and go, yep, we are big time, because Keenan's got his show. They got their new Tuesday lineup is Young Rock, which, all due respect to Norman Lear, like, sure. I saw Young Rock after 2 episodes, clearly the greatest sitcom of all time, in my opinion.
You like
well, I've never seen a sitcom with the Wild Samoans, Rocky Johnson, Andre the Giant. Like, it is the best sitcom.
I saw Ric Flair was in it last week.
He was. It wasn't a great Ric Flair, but he was in it, which was
he a bad
wasn't a great episode.
What'd you think, Travis?
Episode,
Did you like
Travis.
it?
I watched it. I'm like, what am I watching?
You didn't love it?
It was great. What are you talking about? It's the Wonder Years, except The Rock. Except it's
Travis,
actually slightly better than the Wonder Years.
Did I love it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even like it.
Oh,
what?
Not good.
I like what's his face? Who's the guy that's interviewing The Rock like throughout the series?
Randall Park. Randall Park.
I love him. He's great.
James Lipton.
He's great.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the setup to the sitcom is it's 2032 or somewhere around there, 2034 maybe, and The Rock is running for president. And so Randall Park, who plays Randall Park, the former actor, who is now a news journalist. The setups are funny. Like,
yes.
Without me being ironic, the setups are all funny. The Rock and Randall Park together are very funny.
Yeah.
But Randall Park is basically interviewing The Rock on his campaign trail, and The Rock is telling stories from when he was a kid. And then it does a flashback, and then, you have the meat of the show. This is Young Rock, and he's
you
telling
get The
a
Rock
story
in it.
Right. And you get The Rock in the beginning and the
Yes.
end. Like, the Rock does the heads and tails of every episode.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, Travis is a little butthurt because it's clearly better than Seinfeld, in my opinion. So I think that might be a little...
Already 2 episodes in.
Yeah, well, I knew after the first episode, but yeah, 2 episodes in. Now it's for sure. And Travis is a little butthurt about that,
You're not going to be in the show.
I like a sitcom about the Wild Samoans. We both have ties to the Peacock Network, and
Yep.
it's the greatest sitcom I've ever seen.
That's true. I forgot it was a Peacock vehicle.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, and they do a good job over there. So I love it. I love the Wild Samoans on a show, as I said. Rocky Johnson is a big part of it. It's great. And then he's using wrestling lingo on the show. He's talking about, getting the heat and the shine and the comeback. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, wrestling. So I like it.
I would say you're a baby face.
Oh, man. A little inside with your lingo there,
Yeah.
Jim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
someone has turned heel.
Whoa. What, you been reading the dirt sheets?
Yeah.
But I say all that to say that Keenan is on After the Rock every week.
Oh.
So NBC is going hard in getting eyeballs on this Keenan show. And Don Johnson is on it, and it's a decent show. It's pretty good.
How is The Rock doing the ratings? I imagine he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, like the first episode was incredibly good, and there was a big drop-off for the second episode, but it was one of those typical, premiere week drop-offs. So I think it's still doing well. I think it was pretty good second week, so as long as there's not like a colossal drop-off this week, then I think it's good.
It's weird, too, because he has like 200 million followers on Twitter. He's the best at it. I'm sorry, at Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there's no guarantees that you're going to get the amount of people that you want every week to watch something. There's just no way to guarantee you're going to get that.
No, people are slow. I feel like people are slowly realizing that there is not a guaranteed platform to platform transition. Like, there are people that are huge on YouTube that have 5,000 Twitter followers.
Right.
That then go to and like lots of people on YouTube have tried to do TV shows. And they've literally millions of people watching everything they do on YouTube. But it doesn't translate to TV, or it doesn't, or, you're big on TikTok and it doesn't translate to Instagram. Like, the platforms do have their own audiences, so it doesn't always. Now, The Rock does have some success in other mediums besides Instagram. Like, I think he's done okay in film.
His films all bomb. I mean, after like 150 million, they all just start losing money. they
That's
peak
true.
out at
No,
150, 200 million.
That's true, yeah, and it's
It
ridiculous.
is
at that
crazy
point.
how he's literally good at everything. Like, I mean, he was obviously, he's probably the biggest wrestler of all time. His films are fucking, like, for him, a bomb. Like, what's considered a Rock bomb? Like, Baywatch is not as good. Like,
Baywatch.
And that, even that does okay. Like, even a Rock bomb does okay. There's no total fucking horror shows for The Rock. He always has something salvageable, even if the project doesn't do what he wants it to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up now to see like what's a
Look
rock.
up The Rock.
Been-
THE space ROCK.
Oh, that's how you spell. Oh, the C is silent.
Yep.
I see. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. Baywatch. The budget was $69 million, and it made a grand total of $58 million.
So
So like
lost 10.
they
Okay.
lost $10 million, but like compared to what The Rock has gained, but like yeah, that's
More than
not
that
like a
after marketing
colossal-
and
Wasn't that count?
Oh,
does
yeah,
that
yeah,
count
no,
as kind of the budget or no? Do they count that in the overall
No.
budget or no? Oh, okay.
Marketing is usually, I mean, a lot of times they like marketing is like half the budget, meaning there's an additional 50% tacked on
Sure.
to what the budget is. So
Now, is
yeah,
that
I mean, if you
worldwide
count,
what you're reading, Sam, or is that
no, that's
worldwide, or is that
domestic.
just the U.S.?
International made $120 million. So
So
international,
they made their money.
it's they still made their money.
Yeah. There you
So-
go. They made the money.
Yeah, so they did just fine. But that is looked at as like a misstep for The Rock. But then he, you know,
Sure.
he turns around and just goes like, "Well, how about the skyscraper movie?" And they're like,
I
"Oh,
loved
yeah."
it. I loved it. It was fucking well shot, nonstop action. Like, if you go to a movie like that, you're just going to see a nonstop action movie with a guy
Right.
who's really good at action movies and a lot of outside the building climbing. And it really made me nervous. Like, the trailer had me fucking sweating and uncomfortable. He's climbing on the outside of the building. It was fucking crazy. I love that movie. It scared me.
Was that the movie where he had to swim through the building, or was that a different movie?
I don't know. This is where he's on some construction crane and he jumps across.
Right. No,
onto the.
I think-
the building's on fire or something.
I think San Andreas might be the movie where the skyscraper starts to flood, and he's got.
or
to
is it
swim
Rampage?
through-
Wasn't he in Rampage?
Yeah, I didn't see Rampage, but it's a hell
What?
of a video game for Nintendo.
What kind of fan are you? Didn't see his Rampage.
I should
Even
see
I
Rampage.
saw Rampage. Yes.
Did you? Was it great?
Yes. It was very good. Yeah.
Let's see. Rampage. I mean, I was looking at Rampage like, well, I don't know that Rampage was the most successful movie. Domestically, it made $100 million. Internationally, it made 300. Oh, worldwide, it made $428 million. It made $500 million, and that's Rampage. That's the one you forget about. $500
right.
million.
Yeah. It was a
Man, The Rock
2018
is-
science fiction film. It was good. It was really good.
You didn't see the film.
Yeah, I did.
2018 science fiction film.
Science
Get off of
fiction.
IMDb. It's
It's a
based on a
monster
video
film.
game. I mean, I know what it is. It's Godzilla and King Kong climbing buildings, except you can't call them
Yeah.
Godzilla and King Kong because you don't have the rights.
Yeah.
I remember the game.
He played Dr. Kerry Atkins, I believe, if I remember correctly.
You must be right.
Yeah.
You did see it. You are a fan.
So, I do love.
You
it.
gonna watch? You gonna watch Godzilla versus King Kong when it's on HBO Max?
It's funny. I've been doing more HBO Max lately. I might.
So far, they're as far as like response to their movies. So far, they're 1 for 3. Like everybody thought Wonder Woman sucked, and everybody thought Tom and Jerry sucked. Which is my favorite thing is watching people get theatrical releases for free and then being like, "That sucked." Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny. But Judas and the Black Messiah was great, and a lot of people liked that, so I liked it
did.
a lot. Yeah, it was good.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
You know
Wonder
the Lucas
Woman, I
brothers
didn't
wrote
see
it?
the new one. They're doing a show with Judd Apatow. They're doing something with Judd Apatow now.
A movie.
Yeah. I saw the first Wonder Woman. I thought it was overrated and okay, not great. I was just like, ugh.
Then you won't like the second one.
No, that's why I saw it. I heard the second one stinks, so I only want to see the second one. But I would date Gal Gadot. Just so you know, I would date her.
You would?
There was a lot of questions, like would I go out with her? Wouldn't I? Yeah.
Way to put that out into the universe.
Yeah, I know. I sent her an email, and I didn't hear back. I thought it was cute, and she apparently didn't.
She didn't like it?
No, I'm kind of hurt. I thought it was funny.
What'd you
Kinda
write?
like flirty. I said, if you're so pretty that if you shit in a plastic baggie, I'd let you slap my face with it.
What?
And I put like a heart emoji after. I never heard back.
Jim, I think your lifestyle has led to you narrowing your scope. I don't think you realized that not everybody's going to be flattered by that.
Now, Travis is saying the Godzilla King Kong aircraft carrier fight scene is 18 minutes long. All right. That's 18 minutes.
That's a
long.
positive.
Pretty cool. That's great.
That's a positive.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm not sitting there watching the trailer. The trailer looks awesome, by the way. But I'm not sitting there going like, I really hope Stranger Things has some character development in this. I really want to see what she's got to say. Like, I want Stranger Things to be there as set decoration for King Kong and Godzilla to fight.
Yeah, I would like that a lot.
But that's one of those that would be awesome in a movie theater too.
Yeah, IMAX. That's what you want to see in IMAX.
Yeah, just buildings blowing up, big monsters are fighting.
So go see it. They're opening theaters this weekend.
I'm not trying to get COVID right now. I'm not trying to go to super spreaders events.
Hung out with Troy.
I know.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I got real lucky. I skirted out of that.
Dodged a bullet there.
Dodged a bullet. I was getting tested every day. Somehow. Oh, Kyle brings up a good point. He said you could rent a whole theater to yourself.
People are doing that.
Bet,
And they're loving it.
They are.
Oh, really? They are? How much does it cost?
AMC charges $100, I think, to rent out a whole theater.
That's
I'll
it?
do that shit
For you and like
I'll
up to like, I think, 20 friends or something.
$100
Really?
is it?
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, and then they've
Yeah,
got like
that'd
a
be
list of
awesome.
movies you can watch.
And then I wouldn't show up. I would
What's
just
the
do it
point
and
then?
show up. That's the beauty of it. It's just a theater that's being wasted.
Yeah. Friday night
Wow.
at 8 o'clock, please.
Renting
Yeah, I'll
an
rent a
AMC
theater.
Wow.
Who could I invite? Here's my only problem.
They are
I
hurting.
don't have anybody that I would want to invite.
Jesus,
Like, they're like,
they're
you could have up to 20 people. And I go like, well, I'll drop the kids off with my parents. I mean, I'll bring Jazz, but
Wait a
if
minute.
you just bring one person?
Do the 20 people have to pay as well? There's no way they're doing $100 for 20 people to see a movie. It's crazy. I bet you that they have to pay as well. But
You're renting the theater.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody's going to movies right now. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Now's the
lucky if
time
you
to do
get
it.
10 paying customers for $10 each.
Okay.
That's so dope.
$99
Yeah, I would
for
do
like
that.
older movies. You can rent for a new movie $150.
It's amazing.
So 150 to see Godzilla versus King Kong by myself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or if you know anybody in the area that might want to see it too, you can invite them.
How much is IMAX?
I don't know anybody.
How much is IMAX?
I don't think they're renting out IMAX.
Why not?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
Now,
you can do it right
what
on
if-
right on the website. But if you know anybody who lives in the area but would also want to go, I'm sure they're
I don't.
available.
I don't know anybody in the New York State region that wants to go, that I would want to go with.
What about Travis?
Jim, that's a great point. I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even think of that either. Here's what I'm thinking about: starting a cottage industry where I would only invite people I know that don't have COVID, and it's called COVID-free movies. And I rent the theater for $100, and then I charge people to get in. I think that way I can make all my money back and then some. Like, it's $20 to go to the theater.
Yeah, you charge people $20, you make $400. You clear
That'd be-
$250.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "How do you know that nobody has COVID here?" And I'm gonna go like, "I'm assuming."
I asked
Why would
them.
you come out to a movie theater if you had COVID? Like, that's so irresponsible.
By the way, I'm trying to look at the website. And it's not letting me. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's just a shit website about renting an
Yeah.
AMC theater. I might rent.
How
one.
did you get this? I want to rent one.
Go by myself. Tug my prick.
I'll tell you this: if I rent a movie theater, I'll be on my phone the whole time. Nobody's gonna tell me what to do.
Yes, I'll be talking. I'll be like Paulie Walnuts in a movie, fucking just yapping real loud.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be the king of that theater. I'll invite 20 people and then ruin it for everybody.
You can rent a theater. Wow, that's great. I want to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. So only AMC is doing this?
Yeah.
I want to
What's the
rent a
private
theater
one?
and, have a
And it
super
looks like some of the newer movies are even more expensive than 150. You could watch Tom and
What?
Jerry for 250.
Who the
250.
fuck,
How
who
about
the
this?
fuck wants to see Tom and Jerry? What a shit
Okay,
idea for a movie. Tom and
Well,
Jerry.
you could bring your
My dick.
kids.
That's enough already. We've seen it.
Okay, how about this, stupid idiots? I'm gonna rent a theater and bring my iPad. I'll watch Tom and Jerry there. It's free. It's on HBO. Like I have it already. Like, can you? How much does it cost to rent a theater and just get a plug-in for the projector, and then I'll bring my own movie? Like, I'm not dealing with your
UALM?
250 nonsense. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Or you can just watch Do the Right Thing for $100. That's better.
That's a great movie.
I'm not
It's a great
renting a
film.
theater to watch Do the Right Thing.
Why? It's a great movie.
I mean, it's great. I have it on my iPad. I'll watch it on the plane. Like I've seen it so many times.
I saw it in the
fair
theater
enough.
when it first came out.
Well, that's
Love it.
fine.
$100 to watch Karate Kid. Not the
What?
James Smith version.
Miyagi
Oh,
Do
forget that
Karate.
then.
I love that. It's teaching me some lessons.
You have space in the theater to practice Miyagi-Do.
How to paralyze
That's
somebody
true.
with one punch.
That's true.
Oof.
Man.
Oof.
Oh wow, that's they're getting sold out too. People are really doing it.
Of course
Yeah,
they are.
yeah, they are.
It's $100. Why wouldn't you have a few friends?
It's a
Beats
good
having
deal.
friends over to your house. Well, your gross COVID friends. Who wants to have them over?
Wow. All these theaters are sold out.
Yeah,
didn't even know this
spread
was
out.
happening.
Everybody's safe. Put the people you don't like in the front.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna assign seats for sure. Like, you're gonna sit where I tell you to sit. It's my movie theater for the day. Oh, how much is the Croods?
Crudes is $250.
Oh. $250 to watch the Croods?
That's a new movie.
Now, wait, where are you looking for theaters?
Ah.
Are you looking in New York or in
Oh yeah. I'm
Westchester?
looking at
In
Jersey
New York.
Gardens in
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm looking all over New York, and all these New York theaters are sold out.
Now,
Yeah,
how
people are
many
doing this. People love it.
How many showings are they doing? Like three
Three.
a day or 5?
3 a day.
Well, I see. Hang on. At Jersey Gardens, they've got 2:30, 3, 3:30, 4, 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30.
All sold
7,
I don't
out.
care about COVID at
7:30.
all.
No, only a couple are sold out for today.
Well, they're probably they're probably making concession money. They're making
Oh,
something
yeah.
there as opposed to just staying closed.
Just having empty theaters.
Yeah.
How much did it cost to watch Nomadland? Because I've been watching it for free on Hulu.
All right, let's see.
$250.
You're currently paying $0 to watch it.
Well, technically, I guess, like, whatever it is, $10 a
$7,
month.
$10.
Except I'm also
Okay,
I'm
they
also
want
watching
$250.
Freaks and Geeks. $250. The
$250.
fuck out of here. No, that's ridiculous. See,
Yep.
$250 would have been okay if you had started with that, but the fact that we started this conversation with you saying 100, and
Well,
now
because
you're
that's what the
saying
majority
250.
of them are.
I know, but like the ones you actually want to see are $250, and that's nonsense.
Watch Back to the Future for $100. That's a deal.
Ugh.
I was just thinking, I haven't seen that movie 180 times.
I've had enough of that film.
Now you can see it again.
I already know. He
Watch
goes-
The Thing for $100.
You can suck mine for 50.
These are movies from 30 years ago. Suck.
You charge me?
It's just so stupid to call your dick a thing.
It really is. So juvenile.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a movie for $100, it's got to be 30 years old?
No, not necessarily. You
Okay.
can watch for $100 Ride Along.
Who would ever do that? I mean,
For
speaking of
$100?
like that's, is that the Ice Cube and Kevin Hart vehicle?
That's right.
Yep.
I mean,
You go
look,
laugh with a few friends.
I like a Kevin Hart buddy comedy. I may even own Ride Along in my collection. Every now and then, I'm like, let me watch this. Let me watch Kevin Hart be a fish out of water with either Ice Cube or The Rock. I'm not against it. But $100 to watch it in a movie theater? No.
All right, here you go. Here's another $100 movie that's not 30 years old.
All right, good.
The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith.
That's the homeless movie? I was upset when I paid $15 to see it in a theater. $100.
Did you love it?
Wow, I love the fact that it brought Jaden Smith to the silver screen for the first time. You know,
Okay.
Jaden Smith being my favorite Karate Kid of all time.
Sure.
I like that. But Will Smith is just sitting there trying to sell computers, except he bought all of them first, and then he can't sell them. So now he's got no money because he spent it all on computers he can't sell.
Right.
So now he's homeless. He's living in a train station with Jaden. But eventually he gets a job, and he
Oh, come on.
can
Don't
live in a
spoil
house
it. I
with
haven't
Jaden.
seen it yet.
Sorry, I really Kyled that one up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I can't even watch that fucking documentary now. I started it yesterday. And I was like, what am I doing?
Yes, Kyle already let you know what happened.
Watch Jungle Fever for $100.
What is it? Poor Spike Lee. Why don't you put some respect on Spike Lee's name?
I know.
Get him
Hey,
another
I'm not the one
$100.
making the prices.
I know it's not you, Travis. I'm not yelling at you. You're just the messenger, and it's not fair for you to take that brunt. But I'm telling you right now, AMC, put some respect on Spike Lee's name
Yeah.
and put him at least in the 150 category. Don't just say, oh, you can rent a theater. The cheapest is the Spike Lee rate. That's not fair to Spike at all. What are you going to tell me next? Crooklyn's available? Crooklyn should be at least 175. That movie is glorious.
I'll give you 80 for Clockers. I like to get a good. I want to see a good Delroy Lindo vehicle.
I don't know if Clockers holds up.
No, I mean it was a good book.
Yeah, oh, wow. You're not
Oh,
paying
here
for
we
the
go.
book.
Sam, you got $100?
Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
You want to go see Ghost?
No, I don't want to go see Ghost. You talking about the Patrick
All right.
Swayze Demi Moore vehicle?
Yeah, that's right.
It's 30 years old. I'm not trying to watch a 30-year-old. Can you imagine the disappointment, right? If your friend came to you and it's like, bruh, you miss going to the movie theater? I'd be like, yeah, I miss going to the movie theater. It's the best. You go, well, good news. I rented a movie theater. What? Like a real movie theater? Yep, an AMC movie theater. I rented one. Whoa. What are we going to see? The movie Ghost? The what now? The movie Ghost. Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. They make Clay together, except he's a ghost. Huh.
That's what you do. You tell everybody it's something else, and then you just trick all your friends.
Ghost comes on.
I
Well,
saw
Ghost
that
was
recently.
cheaper.
It is a good movie. I mean, I cried a little. It was good. You don't cry at Ghost?
I'm never going to watch the movie Ghost. If ever the movie Ghost is on, then I am still under the assumption that nothing is on. If I see the movie Ghost is on, then I know it's time to check if either Impractical Jokers or Shark Tank is on.
You didn't cry a little watching Ghost the last time you saw it? Come on. A
No,
little.
man. I'm not sitting there watching Ghost.
I hadn't seen
No.
it in many, many years. So I kind of had the. You know what I saw recently that I just hadn't seen it. I wanted to watch it again. The People versus Larry Flint.
That's
which
a
is
great movie.
Great. I just hadn't seen it in a while, and it was a great. Edward Norton is so fucking good at that. Woody Harrelson, Courtney Love. I mean, it's a great fucking film. And about again, and then when you watch it, you're like, you remember talking to John Douglas, like that fucking piece of shit guy is the one who shot Larry Flint. Really great movie.
Great movie.
R.I.P.
movie.
Larry again.
R.I.P. to Larry Flint.
Fuck.
I would invite him to my movie theater screening.
Absolutely.
But apparently I'm
sit
going
on
to
his
have
lap,
to... Yeah.
sit on his dead legs.
Come on, Larry. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah. Great.
But, yeah, apparently I'm going to have to sell a little bit more Bitcoin if I want to actually have fun. because all
Oh,
the new
yes.
movies are very expensive.
Good
There's
time
some
to sell
classics.
it.
There's a De Niro classic for $99.
Which one?
What is it?
The War with Grandpa.
Oh, stop it, Travis. Oh, come on.
I did see that.
Well, that was in your best friends with Robert De Niro phase, right?
I was at Bob's house when I saw at his Christmas party.
He played his own movie at his Christmas party?
There was a screening in the other room for those that wanted it. Part of me thinks it was just a brilliant move because this way you can call it a work event.
That's 100% what it was, and it is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I have, you know what? I have full respect for it. Because also, he chose the film The War with Grandpa, because that way, nobody's going to leave the party to go see The War with Grandpa. It's like, you could either hang at Robert De Niro's party, or you could watch him star in the film The War with Grandpa. I think I'm going to pick the party. So he doesn't lose any of his guests, but it still is technically a work event. De Niro's a genius.
Yeah, he is.
Very
And
smart.
I enjoyed the film, and that's it. I got to meet.
You watched it?
I sat there in the theater. Of course I did. De Niro was there, and so was Chris Walken and Keitel. Who might have not watched that movie?
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah. I had already met him, but he introduced me. It was nice.
Even though you already met him.
Many years ago. I wasn't introduced to him by De Niro. It was nice.
Yeah. My friend introduced me to Bob De Niro.
Must have been very nice.
It was very nice. It was very nice. I didn't think that, like, well, Bob was very polite, and I'm sure he didn't particularly want to do any meet and greets, so I feel like he must have had respect for my friend who very nicely introduced me to him.
Yes, it was nice of your friend.
Yep. Yes, very nice. Very nice.
I think you should reciprocate.
Who do you want to meet?
No one. I think that you should reciprocate by emptying your friend's balls.
I didn't realize a blowy would be involved.
I'm 52. Oh, I think that's still funny. Tell your friend blow you. It still makes me laugh.
I mean, it is funny.
Always.
It is funny. Because
It'll
imagine,
always
like, you're
make me
sitting there.
laugh.
Like, imagine the scenario. Like, you introduced me to Robert De Niro, and I'm like, oh, Jim, that was so cool. I really appreciate you doing that. I'll remember that forever. And then you, like, I don't realize what I've gotten myself into. And you go, you know what, I'll remember forever. And then you just unzip your pants. That's a funny scenario for me to be in. Like, I'm stuck.
Or if you had said that to De Niro, if you had met him and you shook hands, and he goes, hey, nice to meet you. And you go, I hope so. I'm going to have to suck his cock now.
He would have just looked at me confused. What?
And if I was like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, that is the arrangement. Yeah. You're a big star, Mr. De Niro.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a little arrangement.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, I can't imagine what I would have to do to pay you back for the time you got me a picture with Dave Chappelle. I mean, that feels like that might be full service. You know what I mean?
That's a good picture, too.
It's a great picture.
That's a really good picture of you and Dave.
That's one of those pictures that I can post literally every time Dave Chappelle comes up in like the news cycle, and it just gets likes on likes on likes. It's I love that. Like I would because I'm such a Dave Chappelle fan, as you know. I would print that picture out and frame it. And I don't even care about pictures like that anymore. Like I will at some point.
Get him to sign it.
I got my Stone Cold. Oh, I would love to get him to sign it. I got my Mike Tyson picture. I love. I actually love my Ozzy picture because of the way he's like grabbing.
Sure.
He's like grabbing me by the hair. It's just a great picture. Vince McMahon, obviously.
I have an autograph.
Dave
from
Chappelle.
Vince. I don't have a picture. I wasn't doing pictures back then.
I have it signed. I have my Vince picture signed.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You enjoy.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice item. Yeah, I'm happy about it. But yes, I am. The Dave Chappelle picture is a very good picture. I'm happy with that. That was
centered.
Yep. It's perfect. It's perfect. That was the night that we both met Roberta Flack as well. I didn't get a picture with Roberta Flack, but I still, and I like Roberta Flack, but I felt pretty good about, you know what I mean? Like, I got the picture with Dave Chappelle. Let me just walk out a winner. Let me not get greedy and go like, Jim, can you ask Miss Roberta Flack to take a picture with me too?
I took one with
it's
her.
like,
I pushed her. I
I know.
helped get her wheelchair back. I didn't push her. I was like getting people out of the way and helping to get her because we saw Amy at the garden and Roberta Flack was there, so I helped get her in the back. And then Dave wanted to meet her, so he was talking to her, and then he introduced me to her. Like he literally had met her 10 seconds before that, and she was so happy to meet him. But she was nice to me because he introduced me. She didn't give a fuck about me. She didn't care about my wheelchair assistance. No.
Oh.
She didn't. They all took pictures with Dave. I know
She
because
didn't
I
care
took
about
them.
you.
No, they handed me the camera. Will you take it? I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then I got one, and I jumped in there, and old RF gate took one with me.
I mean, Dave Chappelle literally has a special called "Killing Them Softly."
Oh, that's, you know what? You're absolutely right. I didn't even think of that. You're absolutely right.
You know what I mean? That's pretty badass that he got to. That it was there with him and Roberta Flack.
Yeah, I thought
Pretty
he had
cool.
met. Maybe he didn't meet her before.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Unless he just liked the Fugees version of the song and didn't even realize it was a cover.
Possibly, yeah. He thought that she stole it from him.
Yeah. That was another good one that you'd like because it's like Lauryn Hill does such an amazing job singing the song, and then it becomes even better because Wyclef just starts talking over it.
Yeah. They used to always do
It's
that.
real.
Though. Like there was a period of music where everything had to have a little hip hop in it. Like everything had to have a little, like no matter how good the song was, and you just don't need that talk. They do it on fucking Informer by MC Snow. MC Shan is in there. They figured they had to put a bigger name in there. So I don't know why they did that with a lot of songs, but it wasn't necessary.
Well, this was like, I mean, technically the Fugees were a group,
That's
but
true.
this is clearly a Lauryn Hill song. But Wyclef was like, let me not. I mean, I don't know if Proswell is going to make an appearance here, but let me make sure that my voice is on
But
it.
yeah, I looked at
Yeah,
that
she
photo
was.
recently. She was a delight.
She was. She was great. She was she was a delightful person.
It was a fun night. It was a fun night.
Yeah, that was backstage at the Garden.
Was, yeah.
Mark Normand opened for him. Remember how
just
nervous Mark
gonna
was
say
before he
that.
went on?
And he was great. He was really fun.
He was excellent. Excellent. But he was
Oh,
like,
Madonna introduced her, right? Madonna came out and introduced her.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But didn't like Madonna get rushed? Like, we didn't see Madonna, right? Or did we?
Yeah, I saw her before the show. I was backstage before the show, and I was
Yeah,
sitting
maybe I
near
forgot.
her in the green room, but I didn't talk to her because she was going on stage. I was like,
Right.
or maybe it was after. I don't know. But what are you gonna say? Hey, how are you? You know, it's Amy's friend, so I don't want to embarrass her. Like I'm embarrassing
Right.
enough around people, but I don't want to start bothering their more famous friends. I mean, even I have a line.
You have a line?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying I have a line where I will stop. I thought you meant you had a
Yeah,
line
yeah.
that you would use. Like
Yeah.
you'd look at Madonna and go like, oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at you. You're a beautiful stranger.
Yeah.
You know, you bring up one of her hits that was like, it's a little late in the like I don't know, beautiful
Yeah.
stranger is the one you reference. Like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Or if we were enjoying the show, I could have looked at Madonna and I would have pointed up at Amy and I would have said, "Amy, please preach."
And you do it with that little slight rhythm.
Yeah, just to let her know that I'm
So she-
referencing her song.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. That'd be good. I just lean over and I go, Madonna, remember the VMAs? Remember that? I do. Cool. Yeah, that's
great
cool,
night.
man.
Or I would tell
yeah.
Madonna, I seen you on, I saw your set on Fallon. You had good material, girl. She'd probably be very impressed that I tied
I
in
think she'd like
something.
that.
She'd love it.
Yeah.
We should, we have no guest
I
today,
go
but
like
we
this.
probably should break shortly.
I go like, Madonna, look at all these people, huh? She'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, music makes the people come together. She'd be like, please stop referencing my hits from like the late 90s. That's such a weird time period to keep going back to.
She has some song I like. Candy Shop, I think that song I kind of like. Like it's off some,
That's 50 Cent.
it's not one of her, no, that is also a 50 Cent. The album is called Hard Candy by Madonna. And I like this other, I'm not a big fan of her. stuff. I was doing a workout recently, and like you put on these Spotify play. That's how you know if you like someone when you get into a Spotify playlist. If you're like next song, next song, next song, then you're like, I'm not really a big fan. And I never thought I was a Madonna fan, but I realized how little of her songs I actually really enjoy.
Oh, Candy Shop.
Yeah,
This was on the Sticky and Sweet tour.
yeah,
Man.
of course.
Madonna still so much sex appeal, huh?
She
Definitely
still
not.
does. I mean, yeah, I'd still dumping her.
You would?
Yeah.
Good for you. You'd dump in her. So romantic.
Hey, before we break, by the way,
Yeah.
Nicolas Sarkozy, I think his name is Nicolas, France's ex-president was convicted of corruption and he's being sentenced to jail. The ex-French president is going to fucking jail. That's a
That's a big deal.
really high up official. Yes. The ex-president of France. Holy, that's a fucking massive story.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. You know what he did?
They said corruption, influence peddling.
Wow.
He's only 66, and I guess he was president from. I don't know. No, I don't know when he was president. You know what? I should know that, but I don't. And I don't know who's
just
president now of France.
That's okay. Neither do
2007 to 2012.
Oh, I saw those dates on
Damn.
Wikipedia. Oh, Macron is the president, right?
It's just
I didn't realize
crazy
it was
to
that
go
long
from.
ago.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have thought it was that long ago either, to tell you the truth. It's just crazy to go from the most powerful position you can possibly have
Right.
to the least powerful position you can possibly have. Like the difference between jail prisoner and president, that would be the two ends of the spectrum.
Going to jail like a mug.
That's actually a great point. All right, let's take a
He
break.
can serve the term at home.
What?
He's
All
not
right,
going
that's
to
not
jail.
it's not the same, right?
No, that's what we're all
No.
doing right now.
He's probably got a lovely house.
Yeah.
I would love to be put in
3
jail.
years.
I'd be totally fine with it if they were like, you're in jail in your own house. I'd be like, great. People would be like, hey, Sam, you want to go out tonight? I'd be like, no, sorry, I'm in jail in my house. It'd be awesome.
It's still a humiliation, though. It's humiliating.
It's humiliating, but
Convicted
it's
in
like
court.
it's
Ex-president. Ugh.
kind of a relief that you don't have to go to jail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, you probably want to avoid the news for a little while they're talking about you. It's not the greatest thing to read about, but all things considered, now you just got an excuse to sit on your ass in your house for the next 3 years. That's kind of great.
And
Your
the
wife tells you to
security.
do something. You're like, I'm in jail. Can't do it.
It's just house arrest. He's got to wear a bracelet. There's not even going to be any like security. He's like Uncle June.
No, but the security in jail.
That's awesome.
Putting you in jail, there's a whole risk to you. They're responsible for you. You are still the ex-president.
Yeah.
You know, it's a major, it's embarrassing if you die in their custody or get the shit beat out of you.
Yeah. Or get Epstein.
Yeah, I mean, if you hang yourself, yeah, that would be embarrassing.
No, I said Epstein.
Yeah, Jeffrey, yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hung himself. It happened.
All right. Let's take a break, Jim.
Yes, couple of
We have
fast
a-
announcements. Everybody, we do have
Please.
a kind of a show with no guests, but however,
A
the
lot
new
to discuss.
the new Chip podcast is up. It's with Karen Feehan and Zia and Flutzy is the new episode of the Chip podcast up now, and feel free to go and watch it if you so desire. I'll probably put up a clip later. That's all I have to plug. I almost said plug.
Awesome.
Yeah, wow.
You did say Prug.
Yes, I did.
Yes. Hey, we'll be right back. Stay there.
Yep. In the wire.
Yeah, just having some cottage cheese and some cold brew over here. Making a morning of it, you know.
I'm surprised you like cottage cheese because your eating is so unusual and that's such a weird texture.
Yeah. I never realized that it was something that so many people were so averse to. And so I do get that reaction a lot. People do think it's very, very odd that I could eat cottage cheese every single day. I love it.
I used to eat it a lot.
Sometimes you throw blueberries in it. Sometimes, but you really don't have to. You just eat it right out of the container. And it's good. It's a lot of protein. I don't know. I like it. I don't know why.
I don't
like
love it out of the container. I like it with fruit. Like I told you, I used to get, this is after O&A first got kicked off the air in like 2002 and 3 when we were doing Tough Crowd. I would be up all night, fucking on Craigslist, behaving very badly. And sometimes I would get an escort. Sometimes I wouldn't. It was just crazy. And I was watching The Sopranos on DVD. This is when I first started watching The Sopranos. And I would go to this diner down the street and get giant thing of cottage cheese and fruit. And I thought that was healthy. And I didn't realize that I was eating fucking, 6,000 grams of sugar before trying to go to bed. And I would just lay there all fucking wired after watching 4 episodes or 5 episodes of The Sopranos. It was really weird times.
Like you're just winding down with some natural sugars.
Yeah, something like, calming at the end of the night, like Richie Aprile and a fucking ton of sugar. Nothing helps you sleep like that. By the way, Troy, have you gotten back into it?
I've only seen one other episode since we last talked.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content for you to, because you stay up on all the documentaries now and all that stuff way more than you used to. So I can't really fault you for not keeping up with The Sopranos as much because you're keeping up with all this other stuff. I'm actually kind of proud of you.
Yeah, I'm still into it. It's just, I know you guys are going to kill me for saying this, but it's just a show that I'm not like dying to see what happens next.
Yeah, whatever you like, you like. I mean, it's a taste. It's a personal taste thing.
Travis is just angry at that.
But you know what? Actually, I'm a little more. Sam is so backhandedly insulting by saying, I'm proud of Troy for keeping up with things.
He doesn't keep.
Well, no, he's right, though.
Like he's a child.
He never watched anything. In New York, he would never watch anything. I'd be like, did you see that? Troy would be like, no. He'd come to me like 2 years later. I saw this documentary. It's like, yeah, it came out 2 years ago, bro. I've been on this for a while.
Yeah.
But,
That's
you
true.
know, also,
That's
yeah.
true. Plus, there's so much to watch now.
There's so much to watch. And there is a level of attention and detail.
There is. And I
put into The Sopranos.
I know. There's stuff that happens. I'm like all of a sudden Christopher's in acting classes. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Well, yeah, he wants to write
Right.
a screenplay.
He's not happy with
Right.
his life.
Yeah.
He wants to do something about his life.
He's not
He's
respected.
I think-
about getting out.
To Troy's point, there are other shows where it's just like, they just kind of, they beat you over the head with a mallet and just do the most obvious, blatant things. And then you can just sit there and laugh like a big dumb hyena. And it's a little easier to follow is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. I get it. At the end of the day, I'm burned out and I'm just like, look, Shark Tank is on. I'm just going to fucking watch this.
Can't fault you
Look,
for that.
I'm not,
You like what you
I
like.
can't
You know,
fault
don't
you
be let
either.
anybody bully you into liking The Sopranos. If it's not your show, then fuck it. Don't watch it. Like, you
Thank
only
you,
like
Jim.
what you
Thank
like. Yeah. I mean, hey, I happen to love it. But I get if somebody doesn't. I mean, I don't understand how you couldn't, but hey.
Yeah, I personally don't get that.
But
I like it,
but-
I don't say I don't like it. It's
Not you.
good. I don't
But I
know.
get
I'm
too
not
that some-
dying to see what happens next. That's the only thing.
and with Shark Tank, it's like, it's no commitment.
Nope.
You're going to, you
Yeah.
give them 7 minutes. It's like 10-10 wins. You give us 7 minutes. We give you the world. Shark
That's
Tank, you
exactly
give them
right.
7 minutes. You're going to get
And there's
the
no
whole
through
pitch.
lines. You can miss an episode.
No.
Yeah.
You could.
I watched,
you don't
I
know
watched
if you're
it for the
watching an
first time in
episode.
recent-
Go ahead.
I watched the Shark Tank recently. I never watch it. It was okay. I don't love it either. Like I enjoyed the episode was about the little some
You're not
woman
waiting
who
to see what
make
happens next?
pizza muffins. They make pizza muffins. It
Love
was
that.
not bad. Yeah, it was good, and the woman was very smart and informed. But I didn't really care that much about. Hey, we'll give you this much for that. But gives a fuck. But
And
it was
then
enjoyable.
Barbara, I bet, tried to figure out an excuse as to why she couldn't get involved. Like,
Yeah.
well, I got this lobster truck, and it seems like you guys might compete. So for that reason, and for the reason I have no money, I'm out. And you're like, Barbara, when are you ever in, Barbara? Invest in something, for God's sake. You're just warming the chair.
Yeah, I didn't love it, but I feel I would watch it again. I would,
But,
would
like,
definitely
yeah,
watch
but-
it again.
You could be watching an episode from season 1 or season 38. You'd have no
Right.
idea. You have no idea how long the show's been on the air. You watch it, you go, and you think to yourself, you get to be in the head because they do it they don't do it from the perspective of the business owner, in my opinion. I think they do it from the perspective of the billionaire. So when you're watching that show, you don't feel like you're pitching to the billionaires. You feel like the business owner is pitching to you.
That's right.
So you sit there and you don't go, oh, I wish I was this person pitching to them. This is what I would say. You go, I wouldn't invest in that, or I would invest in that. And you get to pretend you're a billionaire for a few minutes, and it's fun.
That's exactly what it is. It's you're feeling like the big shot, because you don't feel like, wow, I'm a bum who doesn't invent anything. Like these people are trying. You get to sit there like you're this self-made man, and you get to poo-poo and shoo away the groveling weasel with the shit idea. Like, that's the fun part about it. Like, you don't have to feel like the person who's worked so hard. You can feel like the person who's already made and is shooing them away. I'm sure there's some great ideas. I used to love those shirts that Roland brought in. The what was those Scrub Daddy shirts?
Daddy?
I love those shirts. The shirts
Yeah,
are so
Scrub
comfortable. I'm
Daddy.
too fat for them now, but they were very
outfitted
comfortable.
me. They're not a
My
T-shirt
tits.
company, though. They're
I know, but I like the
Actually,
T-shirt.
You just like the shirts.
Very
There was-
comfortable.
They were nice shirts.
There were great shirts. That is true. But there was a period of time where Roland was literally wardrobed by the Scrub Daddy. Like, it's all he wore.
Very comfortable.
They were nice shirts.
There were great shirts. That is true. But there was a period of time where Roland was literally wardrobed by the Scrub Daddy. Like, it's all he wore. Hey, they send me free shirts.
I wouldn't dare put that on now, though. My extra fucking 15 pounds, my fucking fat sides, my tits would be protruding. Oh,
Yeah,
get it.
you're in the more like sturdy shirt game at this point in your life than you are the soft shirt.
yeah, I'll get back to it, but, yeah, I'm just being selective as to what I wear on my tits.
Yeah, man, I love that show. I love figuring out if the ideas are good or not. I like when somebody comes in and they're so convinced of their idea and they're trying to sell themselves. I seen one guy who came in, he was trying to pitch people on like a bicycle that rides on a cable in the sky. And he said, people are going to train on this. And then he told them, I invented the rollerblade. But it was pretty clear that he had made a couple bad deals in the beginning of the invention of the rollerblade. So he might have made like $300,000 all told for inventing the rollerblade.
Right.
Which is not so it's not, he clearly did not become a billionaire from inventing the rollerblade because he was on the wrong side of the room. He wasn't on the billionaire side of the room. And just Mr. Wonderful letting him know that he's got a dog with fleas and the dog needs to be taken around back and shot and put out of its misery. And you need to come up with a different idea. It's just great. And then Mark Cuban's like, no, come on. And Mr. Wonderful's like, nope. And then Robert Herjavec is always at the end. Old Canadian Robert Herjavec is always at the end, always wondering, why won't anybody pick me? He says, like, I'll give you this money. And they're like, no, thank you. And he's like, why
He gets
won't
cucked out
anybody
of
say
so many
yes to me?
deals.
Every deal he gets cucked out. He goes like, I'll give you this much money, just me. And then Mr. Wonderful jumps in and he goes, what if me and Damon come in together and we give you less money for more of a percentage? And the business owner goes, I'll go with you and Damon. And Robert Herjavec goes, what? Every time.
So
Every
you wonder
time.
if do they all just want the bigger names? Like, do these
I think so.
entrepreneurs have, like, they get like, hey, Mark Cuban owns the Mavericks. He's Mark Cuban. Like, if they see these names and think this guy, instead of realizing that, like, the bigger the pond, the easier you're going to get lost in it. Like, a guy
That's
with
right.
less of a name might be a little bit better and put more attention into your when you own the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
You're not putting a lot of your attention into fucking, oh, look, it's a hat that you can carry pizza on. Oh, terrific. Everyone needs that.
That's your idea?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. High C shoes. Really? We all have a cup of high C and you can store them in your shoe. Like, what an awful idea. You better go with the guy willing to give you the money.
Your entire company is
You better go with the
love
guy
that your
willing to give
entire-
you the money.
Your entire company is products that you can wear that will also hold very specific foods, but
Yes.
you would only let the sharks, like you'd be one of those people that go in and tell the sharks that they will only be investing in the one product. You cannot, like they go, can we invest in the whole business? And no. You are only investing in the pizza hat. The high C shoes are a different product altogether.
The percentages they want are a little obnoxious. 15%, 20%. For $100,000? I mean, come on. That's a lot. For the entire business, 15%.
Well, Jim, that's why they're
Oh.
sharks.
That's what they're sharks. You're swimming with sharks now.
around.
Yeah, I think that they go in, and it depends on the product. Like, just about everybody on some level wants Mark Cuban, right? He's the number one shark because he's the most famous, he's the coolest, he knows everybody. Like, he's a
Is he
celebrity.
the richest?
So, I don't know for sure. I don't think he's the richest, but he's the most famous. Mr. Wonderful is probably number 2
Oh, it's the
because
Something
he's an
Wonderful
asshole.
platform.
But he's got the Something Wonderful platform. And it's a platform you want to be a part of. And then Damon is probably number 3, but he and Mr. Wonderful, depending on the product. Like if you go in with like a clothing brand, you want to get Damon because Damon started FUBU. But then this is where it gets complicated. This is where the strategy comes in. There are a lot of people that come in, and all they've done is invent some shitty tchotchke, right? But they think to themselves, this shitty tchotchke would be perfect for all those rubes that watch the Home Shopping Network. So they think they're going to go in and get the QVC queen, Lori, to invest in their tchotchke. And they always get heartbroken to find out that Lori can tell this is just a dumb tchotchke, and I would never sell this on QVC. It's ridiculous. But if it's a QVC centered product, then they go for Lori because that's Lori's QVC.
Why don't they do this? Like, because again, everyone's always talking about what scumbags business people are, or like how greedy they are. So instead of doing that, why don't they fucking have, instead of the Shark Tank, why don't they have like a nice thing where they give you like a nice deal? Why don't they do that where they make like a little bit less? Meaning, instead of making you fucking dance around for $100,000 and 15% of your entire business forever, why don't they just give you like a really nice deal? Like, why don't they just fucking help these inventors and fucking I would rather watch that.
GoFundMe.
I would literally, what's that?
It's just the GoFundMe show.
GoFundMe.
But no, but you still
I would
get
never
a
watch
percentage.
that show.
I would
that's
watch
so
that. I
boring.
would prefer that. I don't like watching
That's a lame
somebody
show.
with $6 billion fucking make somebody.
I mean, they
who's
do that
trying to fight a
sometimes.
dream. I don't want to watch somebody with $6 billion watch somebody who's fucking trying to achieve a dream fucking give up 20% of their company for
Cool.
$100,000. That annoys
Then
me.
I want to start seeing stand up where people don't get insulted and have their feelings hurt.
But the
say curse
difference is,
words.
I'm not taking somebody's dreams, and a lot of people
crushing
apparently
them?
also want to see that. That's why they don't come see me. But I don't. I'm not interested in seeing guys. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have to give a percentage of your company up, but they're taking more of a percentage than they should take. I think. Like for
They
what?
got to make it worth their while.
Exactly.
They gotta make it worth
It's
their
not
while.
worth your while if you only make a little bit. You got to make even
Motivate
more.
me.
That's just you greedy cocksuckers. That fucking annoys me. That annoys
Well, Jim,
me.
you've signed a lot of deals in your life. You tell me
Sure.
if this phrase is generally good, because there are deals where the percentage in the company is actually very low, but then there's this other term that's tacked on. You get like a dollar amount per sale. Tell me if this phrase is generally beneficial to you when you sign a deal. In perpetuity.
It's one of those things. Again, it depends on the amount of money you're getting and what they're doing for your company. Like their argument is like, hey, we're jump-starting your company. You need this. But it's almost like when you come to somebody so desperate and they're like, all right, let me see if I can squeeze you through the fucking ringer. It's just like, oh, come on.
But
I
that's
would
what-
much rather
that's what-
watch like interesting ideas from people giving fair deals, like great deals to these. And you're still going to make money. These guys are businessmen. They're going to make money.
I'm
That
not
would interest me
watching that.
more.
I'm not watching that.
What a boring show.
No, maybe,
show
but I'm not
sucks.
interested in watching somebody worth billions of dollars
For $100,000, I'll
somebody
give you $200,000. Why, thank you very much.
for 100% for a higher percentage than they need to do. Like, I'm not interested in seeing that. Everyone talks about, oh, the rich get richer. And it's like you could give these guys a fairer deal.
Bro, you
could
can
give them a
pitch
fairer
your
deal.
All right, so you can pitch your Guppy Tank show. And you'll see if people want to watch the Guppy Tank.
They probably wouldn't. They probably wouldn't want to watch.
Because they're
it.
bad. People are bad. People are shit. That people equal shit. That's
As
it's a
long as
song I've
people
heard.
Understand that people are shit.
Yes.
And it's shitty to watch people who are really trying to create these things. Again, I'm not saying don't give up a percentage because you want a loan, you got to pay a percentage. But to watch them taking 15 or 20% of the company, it's interesting to watch that process. And I know it helps you to be on that show, and they're doing something for you. But it's like, really? Do you need 20% of the?
And they're also
That's
not just
annoys me.
giving the money, and like they're working.
What do you mean?
Right, like they're allowed, whether it's the Something Wonderful platform or the relationship with QVC or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And it really does, like, I talked to DDP about it, and he said the best thing ever was going on that show
Sure.
and not making a deal. He did
That's right.
He did $1 million in DDP yoga sales within 7 days of the Shark Tank episode airing.
He's also DDP,
so,
though. Like, he's also a guy, though, that goes in with a very big name. And he goes in like...
That's true.
He's already... Like, he would have already done a good number of things because he's very famous. And I'm not saying that they... I know I sound like this fucking fruity socialist. I don't mean that. They should be paid for what they're doing. But it's just this idea, like, that we're just going to rake you over and squeeze every fucking buck out. It's like, ugh. Can't you just make a little less and give the guy a good deal, like, and make some money off him? I don't know. That would interest me a lot more. I know it sounds douchey, but it really would.
Jim wants to watch a show called The Rich Man Business Friendship Club.
No, I would like to watch a show called We Are Not the Cunts That You All Think We Are Club. We are not the cunts that everyone. I know. That's why I'm not that interested in them.
I see. Yeah, the real deals that, just a deal that sticks in your craw, like Mr. Wonderful will come up with these deals that you're just sitting there going like, oh my God, this should be a crime. Some of these deals that Mr. Wonderful comes up with, because he'll go, how about this? You don't have to give up that percentage of your company. I just want 5% of your company. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the money you want as a loan. You don't have to give me the percentage, but you do have to pay me back at whatever it is, 15% interest within a year. And then after that, I want $1 per sale you make in perpetuity. So it's like you don't have to give up a percentage of your company, but you're literally forever indebted to this man because you just want your dream to come true.
And a high percentage like that, like he's a fucking loan shark. Like, I respect the guy with a bat more. I respect the guy who's like, if you don't pay this back, I'm going to shatter your knees. All right, that's fair. I get it. I know that going in. Yeah, I guess the idea of these, I don't have anything against billionaires. I don't think that they're all evil at all. Like, a lot of them have worked really hard. Jeff Bezos, people say what they want. He's made this pandemic survivable. Like, literally through Amazon. It's done a lot for people. But I also don't need to see them being complete cunts to people and raking people over the coals. It's just gross.
Like getting their workers to piss in jars to make sure that we all get our Prime deliveries?
I'm fine with that. Quit if you don't like it.
Yeah, I saw Jeff Bezos was thinking about buying the Washington football team. Yeah, that's what it would be.
The Amazonians.
That's what it would be.
Wouldn't that be great? They have the Amazon logo on their fucking... Oh, would I love that.
That dumb smiley face. Oh. That dumb smiley thing on the helmet.
Oh.
Like, you have, like, claws, and you have, like, ravens, and you have, like, skull and crossbones, and then you have the one smiley mouth on the side of the helmet. They just look like delivery guys.
Dude, I would love that so much. I would love
and you know
it
they'll
so
change
much.
the colors. He's not going to stick with the
course.
Washington colors. He's going to stick with that navy blue that, like, all the Amazon workers wear now. I was thinking about Amazon yesterday, actually, because it's just like you drive through a neighborhood. Can you imagine even 5 to 10 years ago, like going into the future and seeing...
Sure.
Wasn't a general question.
Oh.
And seeing Amazon Prime trucks driving around, like they're literal... Was there just a glitch?
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
Just a glitch. Oh, okay. I thought Donald Sutherland was here for a second. Like, I see UPS trucks. They literally bought old UPS trucks, painted them blue, and put the Amazon logo on the side of it. Like, do you know how crazy it is that there are Amazon UPS trucks in just every town? That's how much business, and it's like, it's mind blowing to think that you've got one postal service that operates for every store. And then you've got another postal service that only operates for the one store. And they both need the same size trucks. That's how much business Amazon is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a little competition, too, between the businesses, too. I know they say Amazon wipes out mom and pop. But it's like, well, if it's so bad, then don't shop there. I love these fucking people that say, like, Walmart is evil. Then don't go there. If it's so bad, if you don't want to say, then don't fucking, like, literally that's all you can do. But don't act like it's this terrible place. They're cheaper. They save people money. You can get everything in one place.
They
How
deliver on
does
Sundays.
that suck? And they deliver on
They
Sundays.
deliver on Sunday. And you get your Whole Food. You don't even have to go to Whole Foods to get Whole Foods. They deliver it. Amazon will bring you Whole Foods.
Yeah. Everything is there. That's right. They do deliver on Sundays. And it's like if other people want that, well, then, okay, start delivering on Sundays.
Yeah, your morals and ethics go out the window real quick when things are convenient,
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, that's who we are.
But it's not even morals and ethics. It's like literally like I'm trying to buy something cheaper. It's like, you're not trying to fuck anybody over. It's just like it's cheaper and you can give it to me on Sunday. Well, yeah, of course I'll take that.
You go to a
If I'm
store, and the mom and pop store says, we don't have it, but we can order it for you. It'll be here in 2 weeks. And then you literally are standing in the store, and you look at your Amazon app and go, I could have it in 12 hours for cheaper. Like, you're not going to, what can you do? Technology has just changed things. Like, there comes a point where you can't just rely on the old way of doing things just because. Like, the technology has just changed the speed at which we live.
And when you go into these stores, you're right. They're like, well, we could order it for you. No, I don't want that. I've had Best Buys.
I could order it for me.
Best Buys do that. And I'm like, no. Like when I'll walk into a store, I'm like, well, we could order it to be here. And I'll go to the next Best Buy. I don't need you to do that. Like, fuck you. I'll order it. Yeah, I'm here. If I wanted to order it, I'd be home ordering it. Stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to B&H, and guess what? When it's Saturday and B&H isn't open, or when they're like, B&H has balls. B&H knows that they're so good, they'll just take off for weeks.
Yeah, they will.
They'll be like,
Jewish
nope,
holiday, they're off. Yep.
Religion comes first. You won't see us on Saturday. You won't see it. Like, you go to the website. They don't even ship. They're like, you can order this if you want. We'll have it. But we won't ship till we get back to the store, and we're not getting back to the store for 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, all right. I mean, and B&H is so good that it's the only store that I've done it before where I'll go, I guess I'll wait 2 weeks. I guess I'll wait for it then. I guess I won't get that lens right now.
You know why they're so good is because when you walk into a B&H, every person there is well trained. Every person they're so good is because when you walk into a B&H, every person there is well trained. Every person there knows their products. You stand there. There's a guy on the line with the cameras. There's a guy who does the recording device. There's a guy who does this, and every one of them will walk you through whatever you ask them. They have answers to your questions. They don't fuck up when they're sending it to you. And Travis is saying 2 hours training on each product they're in charge of selling. And that's why they know what they're doing. And that's why you go there. That's why that store is a fucking house. All the things going over your head, that pulley system they have, that fucking track system over your head is fun to look at. Your shit always When's the last time you walked out of B&H and your shit wasn't right? It's never not right.
It's always right. And
always
when
right.
you do something wrong, like when I was setting up this studio to get ready to tape the WWE show, like I was making a bunch of upgrades earlier, within the last year. I was making a bunch of upgrades, and I don't know that much about cameras. Like I know the basics, and I can Google stuff and everything, but you make mistakes when you're doing it yourself. And like there were so many, I had to make multiple trips and exchange things and everything. And every phone call I made, every time I had to exchange something, it was just easy. Like I came in and I was like, no, I bought this lens, but it doesn't work with this camera. I need the lens with a different mount. And they were like, yeah, no problem. Just bring the lens back. We'll trade it. The lens isn't broken, is it? Nope. All right, bring it in. We'll trade it in for the one with the right mount. That's no issue. And like, and I like to get a good value.
Yes,
and I called them and I was like, by the way, do you price match? And they're like, yeah, we'll price match. What do you got? And I called them and I just said, well, I saw this available on this website for this much. And they're like, okay, let me look it up. Yeah, okay, I see it there. You're right. We can do that. Yep, come in and you can have it for this price. Yep. And I was like, great, price matched. And that's, I mean, I everything that I can get there, I get there. I love it. I love it so much.
And Travis is right. They don't oversell shit. They don't upsell you. They're like, if you want this, this is what it is. Like they don't. And then and if you ask about the next one, they'll say, well, this one does this one does that, and they kind of just give you the skinny on what does what. They're very bad at bowling balls. I went in for a bowling ball, and I was very dissatisfied with my service.
Yeah, the level of bowling ball expertise
Lackluster.
It's not much. It's not much.
But they are.
Yeah,
a
you know
great
when I
store.
knew that
Great store.
when I knew that Apple was just a different company. Like there was a time where you'd go into Apple and you'd have that exact same experience. They wouldn't have all the products, but they'd have all the Apple products, and you wouldn't have to find like make an appointment with a genius. Anybody you
Right.
talked to in that store knew the products inside and out, and could tell you exactly what you needed. And you could, when I was first setting up the studio in here, and I had to connect my mixer, which has a USB out, into my MacBook.
Yep.
Of course, Mac's in the dongle business, so I need to find a
Gotta have a
dongle.
Yep.
And I go to the Apple store, and I ask the guy, this dongle, like I'm plugging a full audio mixer into the computer.
Yeah.
Will this dongle be able to handle that kind of power? And he picked up the box, and he turned it around and started reading the back of the box. And I was like, the fuck? Like you could just as easily be working at Cheesecake Factory. You have no idea what any of this does. Just give me the dongle. Let me figure this out.
That's right. Yeah.
Reading the back of the box right in front of me. Steve
store is
Jobs
that?
would be so upset. Apple.
Oh, Apple. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, sometimes they used to be the epitome of a great store. But look, they're still pretty good. I haven't been to an Apple store in a long time because they're all closed and panicky. And then during the George Floyd, when people were rioting over George Floyd, all the Apple stores were kind of boarded up. So I have not been.
Oh,
into
in the
it.
city there, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they're
yeah,
still
all
good
over.
at fixing computers and doing all that stuff. They'll fix
Sure
your
they are.
phone, they'll fix your computer, but I mean, it's just not. Dongle company Apple is not the same as Apple. And then, you know what? Maybe it's the right move. They're making more money now, so.
Dude, they're making more money. The stock is still pretty good. I mean, Bitcoin, drove. It's Thelma and Louise, of course. The minute I get involved, but
I told you, it turns into the bad news app very, very quickly.
But it doesn't matter because I understand what it is, and the whole market is shitting the bed. Sirius is down. Fucking Amazon is, of course, good. Tesla dropped $200 a share, like almost. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, but they all go up and they go back down. Yeah, and Travis said it's back up to 48.
Dude,
so I'll
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
Buy a
Bitcoin is
little
up
more.
10% since yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just want to own one coin. I'm not even close to owning one coin. That's my goal, to own one coin so I can easily watch it go up and down.
Well, you could. It's the same either way. Whether you have one coin or one fraction of a coin, like it doesn't.
I know. I want a coin.
It's-
That's it.
You're just obsessed with the amount itself. Like you just need a clean number.
I need a clean number. You're absolutely
get
right.
it.
I need a coin.
I own
need a coin.
a Bitcoin. Can you make change from my Bitcoin, please?
But all the other ones I do, I've taken a loss on already. Like, it is what it is,
Yeah. Hey, today's a big day for the channel, of course, because our friends Jason and
Jesus.
Daniel from the Bonfire are joining
That's
the
right.
channel. Bonfire comes on, I think, at 5 East for their first show here on Faction Talk. Here's my question, Jim, and I don't know if you know this or not.
Sure.
I'm wondering if we need to be worried because we did unfortunately lose Cavino and Rich. I think they're going to still run their best of this week,
Yeah.
but we didn't find out until, I guess, Cavino and Rich announced it on Thursday. That
Is that when you
Cavino and
found
Rich
out? I
aren't.
found out before.
How long before?
That day, I think, or the day before. Like it was really
Oh.
soon.
I thought it was going to be like 6 months before. Oh, I knew this was coming.
Oh, no.
I knew this was coming.
No,
Yeah,
day
that would
of.
be bad.
Yeah. No, I was sad to hear that.
But yeah. I think they're going to be fine. One thing about Cavino and Rich is that they're hustlers. You know what I mean? Like they've always had. They had the ESPN gig. They had the gig on SNY here in New York. Like they're always finding gigs. So I think they're going to be fine. And they're also like those two guys are staying on to do music channel stuff.
Yeah, they're not
So
fired.
Right. So I think they'll find a spot. I think they'll find a place to make some money doing the Cavino and Rich show.
Yeah,
I
I like those guys too. I
Um,
actually was bummed when I heard
they're
it,
good
too.
guys.
I genuinely liked them.
But here's what concerns me. So we pick up the Bonfire. This is good news.
Yeah.
Ellis, we lose Ellis a couple of months ago, I guess. And then not too long after that, we lose Cavino and Rich, right?
That's right.
I checked it yesterday. I checked it myself on the SiriusXM website.
What?
I looked at the channel lineup for this week. Like there's a TV guide type channel lineup that tells you what time each show is on, right? And the Bonfire is on there, so it's totally updated. Like as of this week, Monday, Bonfire, 5 p.m. East. It says Monday morning, 7 a.m. or whatever our time slot is, 7 to 11, or if there's more of it with a replay, whatever. Jim and Sam, blah, blah, blah. Everything's good, right? Until you get to Tuesday.
Oh, no.
Our replay on Tuesday overnight still is on the list.
Good
However,
news. Good.
Tomorrow, 7 a.m., says that it is the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom. And every time slot that is supposed to be Jim and Sam for the rest of the week on the SiriusXM website says that what will be airing is the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom. So, Jim, I ask you, do we need to be concerned that we're being replaced with the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom? And if so, does that feel repetitive?
No, actually, it doesn't. I think it's something that we should all pay attention to.
Do you think that they had a meeting where they were like, okay, we're finally going to get the channel where we want it to be. We're going to have the Bonfire. We're going to have Bennington. We're going to have the Baez 80th birthday Zoom. And that's going to be the shows on the channel.
I don't know, man. Thank God that we still have the overnight for that one night, though.
The Tuesday,
I'm a
tomorrow
concerned.
going into,
A little concerned about Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom taking over for us on Tuesday. You're absolutely right.
And
That's
Wednesday and
very
Thursday and Friday,
upsetting.
by the way. Like for the foreseeable future, it appears that the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom. Travis, could you do us a favor?
Yeah, what's that?
Could you text Jim McClure and ask, just write, hello, Mr. McClure, real quick cue. Are we fired and being replaced with the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom?
All right.
Just because, I'd like to, I would need to get my affairs in order if that's the case.
And if so, I'd like to get a jump on being a part of that 80th birthday Zoom.
Sure, find a balcony.
Okay.
I was going to accuse Travis of being disloyal, but then you encouraged his suicide.
If I was any kind of person, I would have offered you mine.
Okay. Hello,
Yeah.
Mr. McClure.
Yeah.
Keep it respectful, because
Quick cue.
now, quick cue. Yeah.
From a Q. Yeah. Quick Q from an F.
Are we fired and being replaced by Joan Baez
The 80th birthday Zoom.
by
Specifically.
Yeah.
the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom in perpetuity?
In perpetuity. Yeah, you could write in perpetuity at the end of that, because it does
I would
appear that that
understand if we
broadcast.
were.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if they really need that many ears on the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom.
Sure. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, I mean-
exciting. Fun stuff.
You never want to overplay your hand, and you never want to overplay the value that you have to the company. But I would like to think that us doing live shows all week is better than just a consistent replay of the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom, especially for the audience on this channel specifically.
But wouldn't it be almost worth it if they fire us and they put Joan Baez in and it actually does better than we ever did continuously? Like the replay of it day in and day out just does well.
And they do it for like a year. Like every day. It's just Joan Baez's 80th birthday party Zoom.
And there's a trickle of complaints. Like not even many.
Minimal. It's minimal.
A minimal amount of complaints.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in a year, they all get together, and the Bonfire in Bennington celebrate Joan Baez's 81st birthday.
Yeah.
On a Zoom.
And she comes on, she goes on the Bonfire and plays cherry darts. They get Joan Baez to play cherry darts.
Yeah,
I don't want
that
to
would
worry
be,
you guys, but I have not heard back yet.
Fuck.
Probably busy. Probably getting ready for the fucking big Joan rollout.
Yeah, he's programming the Joan Baez 80th birthday Zoom.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because it is, I mean, it is a bummer. I don't know how many people check that update. I mean, just knowing that the channel lineup existed, it still took me several Googles before I could finally get to the webpage that says what shows are on what channel. I have no idea.
No idea
sure nobody,
what's on. No idea.
No. And so, but when I checked it, I was like, imagine if a fan is like, oh, like, I want to see what this new channel is that the bonfire is going to. Like somebody who listened to Comedy Central Radio exclusively, right? And they're like, oh, who else is on this channel? And they're like, oh, Bennington and Joan Baez are on the channel.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, it would have been a nice moment. Like, I would think that when you make a drastic channel lineup change, that might be the one time where people are actually paying attention to the lineup. So it's weird that this would be the one time that they just replace any mention of Jim and Sam, except for Monday's live show with Joan Baez's 80th birthday Zoom. Do we have a reply from Mr. McClure?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
He says, we can discuss in the post-show meeting.
Oh, shit.
It doesn't sound good.
No. Ah.
All right. Well,
Did we put in our contract that we can't be replaced by a replay of Joan Baez's 80th birthday Zoom, Jim?
we did not. No.
Shit.
No. They're treating us
Shit.
like we're rust and rust.
Don't make Baez references, Jim. She's the enemy.
Why not?
Well,
Fucking.
sucks to be fired, but I'll be listening.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny when I saw that because it was like, come on, man.
I tweeted about it last night and somebody actually wrote back, is this real?
I mean,
Yep.
technically, yes. Technically, this is a company document. When I saw the tweet, I was like, "There's no way this is like this is a hilarious Photoshop somebody did." And when I saw that was actually documented by SiriusXM, and it has been up there for days, I was like, "What is going on, man?"
And Joan Baez is complaining. She's like, "Who are these assholes in my Monday slot?" She's right.
She is right.
So this might be our last show. And listen, it's been a fun run. I've enjoyed it a lot more than I would have thought.
I mean,
this has been really an enjoyable show.
it has been.
I've had
You
fun.
know, to be fair, I bet that the Joan Baez birthday party is a riot. Like, I bet it's really fun too. So
Yeah.
I'll probably listen to that. Like, that's still fun. But it's been good, man.
Yeah, it's been a really nice.
really
By the way,
good.
stock is going up again. Thank God.
The Sirius stock? They probably heard about the Joan Baez thing.
They did right through the roof. It went through the
Yeah.
roof.
They were like, I heard there's a channel where you're getting rid of that goofy morning show and replacing it with reruns of Joan Baez. Like, I'll invest in that decision making.
Yeah. Jesus.
Did you watch part 2 of the Woody Allen
did.
documentary?
Yes.
There's
It's
something.
called
There's something
A Love
about
Affair
it.
with
I started.
Mia Farrow. It's called. It's very good. That's the name of the documentary. A Love Affair with Mia Farrow.
I don't know if you're watching the same one that I'm watching.
No, I am.
Yeah, I haven't quite finished the second part yet. I probably have like 10 or 15 minutes left. I still had the same issue though when we were talking about it last week, where it's like it's happening over the course of weeks.
Yep.
Because it's almost like the way the first part ended, where it's a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah.
And it just seems like in really poor taste to be like, did Woody Allen molest his daughter? Find out next week. And you're like, what? This doesn't.
You're right, and that's why, like, we make fun of things, we do taste to tease a fucking molesting, like literally to use it as a tease to get you to tune in. Like, that's more tasteful than doing tasteless fucking humor. But that's considered, and they showed Dylan her tape, which is very disturbing to see her as a kid talking about what she was talking about. I don't know if she was coached or if she actually said it. I really don't know. But they teased it till the end of the episode. Like, literally, you're supposed to be doing a fact-finding and a fact-reporting documentary, and you're using this as a way to get viewers in. So how the fuck is that a more tasteful approach to a subject than just out and out making fun of something? Like, why is one acceptable and one isn't? That's what drives you kind of crazy. Look, it's interesting to hear Mia Farrow talk. It's very interesting to hear about her relationship with Sinatra, but there was a whole lot of it that you didn't fucking need. You know why? Because it has nothing to do with did Woody Allen molest this girl or did he not. It has zero to do with it. Mia's life before has zero to do with it. I would much rather have seen all that wasted footage showing, again, Woody and Cindy said no to it, but showing things from the other point of view and then letting me determine what might be the truth. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would much rather have had all that wasted footage of, I don't need to hear about her backstory or see 50 clips of his movies and have writers tell us that, you know, he was preparing us by showing us all. I don't need some fucking writers interpreting Woody Allen's films for me. Shut the fuck up. I don't need that. You know, get me all the pertinent information. Show more court documents. How about that? Like, they said as it came out in court, and they would show you that, and that's great. Show me the actual document. Show what led right up to it and what came right after it. Give me some context. That, to me, is what they should have been doing in this, to let people determine, for real, do we think this happened or not? Not, we're going to convince you that it happened.
Well, yeah, there was. I thought the backstory on Mia. By the way, there's a lot of Ronan Farrow in this one, and I mean, you talk about the polar opposite. He's one of the most handsome people I've ever seen in my life, but there is not 1 ounce of resemblance to Woody Allen in that young man.
Zero.
Zero resemblance to Woody Allen whatsoever. Yeah, like Dylan looks more like Woody, and she's adopted.
Well, no, isn't she his biological kid? He adopted his. I believe Woody and Satchel were his biological children, and he adopted them later because he had made a deal with Mia. As far as
she's
Mia
adopted.
Yes, she is.
Mia lost a baby, and then he said you should, if you adopted a blonde girl, it would probably be better. And that was Dylan.
I'm almost positive Dylan and Ronan are Woody's natural children, and the reason that he adopted them was because he had an arrangement with Mia that said, I'll give you babies, but you have to take care of them, and then he bonded her. You're saying no, Travis?
You're right.
Dylan is adopted.
Yeah, no, Dylan was adopted. They said it in the first part.
Wait.
They said that Woody and Mia were going to have a kid, and they couldn't conceive, and so Mia was like, well,
Ronan
what if
is
we
the only
adopted
biological.
You know what? I don't know
Mia
how I
was
missed
like,
that. I really did not realize that she was adopted.
Mia said, well, what if we adopted a kid? What if we adopted a kid since we can't conceive? And then Woody said, that's fine if you want to adopt a kid, but I'm not going to have anything to do with it. Like, not in a, just like you can do what you want. And then Woody, and it was just like, I mean, Woody's a weird dude, man, regardless of anything. Because Woody apparently did say, if she's like a blonde girl, I might find myself finding myself, you know, being closer to the kid than anything else. And so Mia adopted a blonde girl baby. Right. She's like 6 months old or something. White blonde girl baby. And I don't say white because, you know, she had all the Asian kids. Yeah, and then when they were raising Dylan and like Woody got like obsessed with her real quick.
Yeah.
They got unexpectedly pregnant with Satchel, who later became Ronan. But yeah, Satchel was the only natural.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that. You said it. You're correct. Yeah, you are correct. I was watching it and her holding the picture of her holding Dylan when she was a kid. I just didn't realize she was adopted. But the documentary is so skewed on making you. And again, maybe he did do it. It's very possible he did it. But don't waste so much time on what you're wasting. I don't need to hear fucking Carly Simon. I don't give a shit what she has to say. I would much rather hear just boring, dull court documents. Show me in context court documents, and it still may prove what you're saying. I just don't like, I resent it because it's nudging me so hard in one direction that I can't believe anything I'm seeing, as opposed to if you show me both sides, you might get me to believe what you want me to believe.
But you don't, Carly Simon was at least making, like, she was there. She's making observations to what she saw.
She is, and so are the other friends. But I'm just, I guess I'm annoyed that there's just nothing from the other side. There's nothing to combat that information, and it may be correct. The information may be correct. I'm not even doubting because I really don't know. I watched her say it. I mean, there's things where I go, yeah, this absolutely could have happened, and then there's other things that I go, fuck, that doesn't make any sense at all that this happened. He's getting a divorce. He's been caught with Sunni, and all of a sudden he's going to then decide to molest his daughter. But then again, hey, could it happen before? Like, I don't know. I can't come to determination. I just resent the fact that the documentary is trying to grab me and shake me and go, this is exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think. I think the Mia Farrow backstory was not necessary. Like that felt like, okay, we're trying to get a month out of this. You know, like that's it's not. That's not what. It's not even what the story's about. I don't mind the other people talking though. And yeah, I mean, look,
that's fine. They were there.
Yeah, there was a lot of footage of Manhattan used. The movie, that's what it's called, right? Manhattan, but also, and it really does make Woody look a lot creepier when you're like, here's his teenage girlfriend. Here's when the doorman started seeing Soon Yi going up to the apartment all the time. Here's what he wrote the movie Manhattan about. And I mean, it clearly is building a case, like you said, Jim. Like it's building this case that the documentary is about. But at the same time, I'm watching that going like, regardless of whether what Woody says is true or what Mia says is true or Dylan or whoever's saying it, I mean, Woody is still a kind of a creep and a weirdo. It just, is he an illegal creep and a weirdo? Is he a kid toucher or is he just a creep and a weirdo?
I mean, look, but even as a weirdo, like if you're to pretend that we don't understand that men like younger women. No, I'm not talking about 7 years old. No, I'm not talking about your fucking adopted, your partner's daughter. But are we fucking like the fact that Hollywood is that you can't act shocked that he made movies about guys who are older who like younger women, because that does exist. It's and you could say, hey, that's not for me, but we can't pretend as men that we're shocked by that, or as a culture we're shocked by that. We're not. Why are we pretending to be shocked about this? You've been seeing it for 1,000 years. When older guys get really rich, Anna Nicole Smith, why do you think she was fucking? Because she married a 90-year-old. And it was a fair. So it's like we're pretending that we don't understand this dynamic happens. And we're acting like I don't. And it's like, come on. Now, again, I'm not saying that Sunni is an appropriate fucking person either. But I'm just talking about his films. I'm dealing with his movies. And if it was so fucked up, if it was so crazy to the culture, why did it win an Oscar?
That's true.
This is what drives me fucking nuts with this woke nonsense. These are things that were films. Where was the objection? Where was it for the last 40 years? Where was it? Wow, we didn't know. Well, but if it was so foreign and so out of the norm as far as what people observed in life, why were these films hailed as brilliant? Why are all these celebrities acting in them? Because it wasn't something that was looked at like, wow, he's addressing this subject that we know exists.
Yeah, I think the argument would be, and this is devil's advocate argument, I think the argument would be that the culture that existed at the time was far more ignoring to victims of this stuff than it is now. And I think the bullshit is in sort of like Hollywood people now and people in power now acting like they didn't know what was happening, you know?
But I don't think every relationship like that, and again, I'm not talking about family, but I'm talking about what he portrayed in his films.
Yeah. Acting like they didn't know what was happening, you know?
But I don't think every relationship like that, and again, I'm not talking about family, but I'm talking about what he portrayed in his films.
Yes.
Is a victim relationship. Like they're not, some of them are, but I don't think Madonna's victimizing backup dancers if she fucks them. Like, come on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when she's 60 and she has a 25, and again, I don't blame her a bit, but she has this young fuckboy boyfriend who's like 25 and great looking, and people are going like, woo, you go. Okay,
Right.
we kind of understand that. We kind of understand. You know how you know this is true? How many young celebrities do you know, whether male or female, pick a 68-year-old partner who's anonymous? How many fucking senior citizens do you see being grabbed by young, attractive celebrities? Zero, because nobody gives a
Very
shit.
few.
Zero, and unless they're famous. Again, Woody's a fucking old guy, so he could, you don't see it. People always date younger when they get to be a certain point, if they can. And if I'm bullshitting, then you would see a whole bunch of young, good-looking actors and actresses grabbing 65-year-old partners or 50-year-old partners. But you don't.
I do think that there's a difference between, and even though it's only a few years, like 16, 17, still in high school, and even 23, right? Like that's
Yes.
6 years.
Sure.
17 to 23 is a huge leap in time. And it's like, that's the line, right? Like if Woody's just dating girls in their 20s, I mean, that's kind of what Jack Nicholson did forever. That's kind of like, that's what,
Yeah.
it's one of these things that guys do. And it's like, okay, that's his thing. Whether it's your thing or not, whatever. If you think he's a creep or not, whatever. But that's his
Sure.
thing. Now, if you go younger than that, if you start going 16, 17, and that's what's on the record, that's when it gets to like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, if you're dating someone and it's against the law, yeah. But if you're dating someone who is 18 when you're dating them, whether people like it or not, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, you waited till she was 18. All right. I mean, that's the same age that's what the military does. They go to high schools and they fucking try to convince you to go somewhere and possibly get your legs blown off. So I mean, let's not pretend that the culture is different than what it is. And I'm not even saying people have to like Woody. It's not about defending Woody. It's about watching writers attack these movies and go, well, it's like all of a sudden they're shocked. Like all of a sudden they're, I mean, we can't get off. Shut the fuck up. You watched these movies. You knew what they represented as far as the relationships, and you loved them. So stop. You don't have to distance yourself from having liked those films.
Right.
You don't have to.
What did you write about this movie? Did you write that it was a beautiful movie? Did you write that it was a wonderful movie?
Right.
Did you write that it was a problematic movie today? Or did you write that it was a problematic movie when you saw it? Like, what is your actual opinion on the movie, not the opinion that you want us to believe that you have on the movie?
And they're not even problematic movies. Like, they're just not problematic films. The thing, if he's did what he's accused of doing, there's a major fucking problem there. That's a terrible thing. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just watching these people discuss his films was annoying.
Right.
I don't need that in this documentary. Like, I would much rather concentrate on court papers, on things that were said in court, or on, again, I know him and his wife said no, but I just didn't need to hear everything from one side because I feel like this is not giving me a complete picture, so I feel like I can't come to a determination.
Now, I do think, though, that when you're a guy who writes and directs and stars in all your own movies, like it's totally his production,
Right.
that there is, even if you're not actively, quote unquote grooming, because that's what they said in the doc, your audience into accepting certain things that you do.
Right, because to imply
I
that
think
a man is, I did hear that woman say that word that
She
everybody
said
throws
that.
around now. Yeah, of course she did,
Yeah.
because it's the word of the day. But I don't know. I don't believe that the Nebuchadnezzar director was grooming the entire United States. No, I don't. I don't believe that, and I don't believe that the Nebuchadnezzar director was grooming the Academy and was grooming millions of audience. No, I don't. I just don't believe that.
It's a tremendous amount of grooming.
It's
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of grooming. It just
Now-
seems so all-encompassing. But I
Dylan's
do
accusations are extremely disturbing. And I do
Yes,
believe that
and
that's a possibility. I don't know if it's true, but it's absolutely a possibility. But do I believe that he groomed the entire country for a decade? No, I don't.
But I do think that it is fair to look through his movie. It's speculation, but it is fair to look through his movies and speculate and see if he was trying to work through something that was on his conscience through the movie. Like if he was trying to like if there's something that he was doing that he felt some people didn't approve of, and it's very possible that he could have worked through that in writing a movie. The same way, like, if you can go
Sure.
through a singer's songs and pick through their lyrics, or a comedian, if they get busted doing something and you go through their jokes that they wrote. It's like people do use their art to work through the stuff that's on their mind. And so I think that that's at least fair in a speculative way.
But but they're not using it like that. They're using it as, see, he was telling us.
Correct.
Yeah, and they did do
Correct.
it with
And
Louis and
that's-
his jokes, and like they make it look like
And
you're
that's
this
ridiculous.
Of course. But yeah, and the reason I'm saying this is if his movies were so foreign to the general consciousness of the country, where the fuck was everybody saying it?
That's
Where
true.
again, if this was one independent film he did, but if he had a theme through all of his movies, it obviously was something that resonated with people, and like, yeah, these type of relationships. And again, I'm not talking about a child and an adult. I'm talking about someone who's barely there, and these were all in his films, and yet everybody saw the scripts, and everybody went and saw the films, and they thought they were brilliant, or they thought they were these. You didn't hear the whole country. So again, criticize the man if you want to, but don't act like you can't believe these films were telling us something. I mean, it's just the writers are who I'm annoyed at. That's who I'm annoyed at.
I get that. I get it. Because the writers were the ones that have been talking about the films the entire time as well. And it's not like the Sun Yi stuff has been extremely public since 1992. I mean, it's been synonymous with Woody. So he's made a lot of movies since 1992.
That's right.
And he's gotten a lot of critical acclaim for those movies since 1992. And it's only really now that, chickens are coming home to roost. But
are they though?
I
don't know if they are, because the investigations with the police didn't show. Like, he was investigated by the cops, and they didn't.
Correct.
So I don't know if they are coming home. Like, what is there new information that like they didn't have back then that we're now going to learn something we didn't know?
I am with you though when it comes to like the writers, because it's like the writers are now telling us, see, this is why this was so bad. He was showing us this, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, why didn't you tell us that before? Like, why didn't you raise a concern before it was okay? And the reason is because Woody Allen was beloved. Because it wasn't okay to go on as a critic, like a comedian could. You're making Woody Allen jokes all the time, but critics couldn't sit there and try to blacklist Woody Allen, so they didn't. Now you can, so they will.
Or not even black. Like back then, it's more complaining about the themes. Like they're so shocked at the themes. And when the woman said he was grooming us, like we're all so stupid. Like that really annoyed me. That was just her throwing around the phrase of the day. And to imply that Woody groomed the whole country is just idiotic. Maybe he was working through his own demons. Maybe he was working through his own doubts. Maybe he was just talking about the way he lives his life. Maybe
Correct.
he was just talking about situations that he didn't think were wrong, that he idealized, whatever his motives were. But it's the writers acting like they just can't. I mean, it's like, well, you didn't say that then. Watching these movies. So if the theme itself was so disturbing, fuck him and fuck his actresses. Why did you just talk about the theme years ago? You didn't.
Right. Yeah, it's 100% true. Yeah.
Hey, look, if it's true, it's extremely disturbing. The only reason I sound like I'm doubting it is because this documentary is so biased, and there were investigations by the police and this is not something that went away. This was dug into, and there was the cops got involved, and there were courts involved. So you know what I mean? It's a little easier to kind of feel that way because there's already been police investigations.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's a weird, creepy guy. The question is, did he molest a little kid?
Yeah, and that's what they should be focusing on. Sun Yi stuff matters too, though. That's the
Sun Yi stuff matters a lot.
Sure, like I get why they went into that, of course, and all the babysitters saying what they like, all that stuff. I totally understand.
That all.
Yes, of course. But I would have preferred
I can't imagine like the mindset that you would have to have. Like, I cannot imagine starting that relationship. I mean, look, Woody Allen is a very selfish guy by his own admission. Like the fact that he lived alone, the fact that he didn't want to compromise his lifestyle at all. Like he lives in his own bubble and he is completely selfish. And that's part of what it takes to allow yourself to like, I mean, I can't, dude, he didn't know Sun Yi from when she was a baby, but he definitely knew her when she was a kid. Like a young
he knew when she was very
teen,
young.
like a kid, a very young kid. And the fact that like you could watch somebody grow up like that and then take them to like basketball games and stuff as a paternal figure, not that he was her dad, but as a paternal, that's what the
Sure.
relationship would
As
have
an
been
authority
at that point.
figure, yes.
Yeah. And your mom's like serious boyfriend of many years who is the father of some of your step siblings. And the fact that that relationship could even possibly become what it became is really that's disturbing to me. Like, you know, again, is it illegal? Not unless there's evidence that he started
Of course.
having sex with her when she was too young, which, you know, some people say there's debate, and they debated that in the thing.
Yeah.
But is it disturbing? Like, yeah, I'm bothered by it in a big way.
But there's a big jump from that to molesting a 7-year-old. There's a huge
That's true.
jump
Yes,
between
there
those
is.
two things. And it's the weird thing. The weird thing is that there's only been one accusation. Like, that's what's odd. Like, if a
Yeah.
guy behaves that way, I mean, do pedophiles start late in life? Like, do you be like, you know what I mean? Like, do you one day, like when you're 45, become I don't know.
And they're repeat
I mean, is that-
offenders, right? They're like, aren't they all usually? Isn't that the problem with these pedophiles? Is
The
that that's why people
recidivism
want to
rate
castrate
is
them?
extremely high. Like,
Yeah.
extreme. Again, that's another thing that makes people have some kind of doubt is like you don't usually hear about a pedophile who only gets mentioned with one particular case and then never does it again and is never reported. Like, it just doesn't. That's what doesn't make sense is some of the surrounding stuff. But again, the documentary is. I want to see. I'm going to watch the other 2 episodes because again, watching Mia Farrow talk is interesting. I just didn't need her whole backstory in this context. Like, if it was just a documentary about
Yeah.
Mia Farrow,
Yeah.
I would love this thing. Like, it's because she is. It's interesting to hear her talk and to hear the people in the story talk. But there's nobody rebutting anything. And I was like, I would rather hear both sides of it and then make a determination.
Like somebody there to rebut something. I get what
Yeah,
you're
because
saying.
he may be guilty. I'm not saying he's not. I have no investment in him not being guilty. I mean, he's not my fucking. I don't hang out with him. Like,
Right.
you know, I mean, he's a hero, so it's like you don't want to think of one of your idols doing that. But you know, if it is, then it is. I mean, you know,
Yeah. We've had enough idols get destroyed by
Sure.
their own actions that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But HBO, and again, when we have to wrap up, but just the fact that what bugs me the most, I guess, besides is the idea that the jokes about things are so terrible, and it's like, look at the way the legitimacy of milking the information, and basically the whole, like you said, did he molest her? Didn't he molest her? That's the big teaser to get eyes on their product.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, isn't that a little more tasteless than not that you shouldn't do the documentary, but like, will we show the tape? Like, they were literally the tapes coming up this week. Like, they're using that as a fucking like a radio teaser to get you to watch it.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, that's what bothered me was the end of the first episode.
Yeah,
Cliffhanger. The fact that it's a cliffhanger, like,
Right.
Yeah, I was like, this is gross. That this is a cliffhanger. It's bad.
yeah. That's.
But
kinda
it's
what,
a
bugs me
good
too.
documentary though. It's a good like. And once the 4 pieces are done, I find it so far. I find it to be a good piece, and they have a
good
lot of
piece.
footage, and they have a lot of people talking. You know, and they're not. I don't think they're hiding their point of view like you're saying, Jim. But I find it to be a very good, well done, kind of important, I guess, piece.
Yeah, I just would have preferred it to be something that showed both. I would enjoy it more because I would really rather watch this and then walk away thinking I know what happened. Like, I don't want to have to go watch other stuff because now I'm gonna have to watch something else. Is this what happened? Is it not what happened? I hate when I can't trust what I'm being told. Like, when
Yeah.
I'm
No,
being
I get
told
that.
something from only one point of view, it drives me crazy. By the way, before you go, what's been really fun to do is to go from CNN to Fox News to their respective websites, and it's so funny to watch how differently they cover a story. It's crazy.
It's
like,
crazy.
if anyone thinks that either of them is down the middle and not biased, I mean, just go
It's so
back and forth
crazy.
and watch how they cover the stories. It's kind of fun
How they
to
cover
do.
it, what stories they put at the front of the page,
Yes,
like
yes.
the narrative, it's insane. And watching everybody jerk off for different reasons because Trump gave a speech yesterday, like everybody on the news was so happy. Either because they could get back to, the world's on fire, or they could get back to finally somebody's here to put out the fire. Like,
That's right.
it's just everybody who does news media was so blissful that Trump was back speaking again yesterday. It really is. It's repulsive.
It was funny to watch
repulsive.
this weekend. CNN finally could not ignore the Cuomo story anymore.
Oh,
And
they've been trying hard. They've been
So
trying so
hard.
hard.
And even the way they're framing it too, it's really weird to see. Like the Brett Kavanaugh accusers, it was woman accuses, but with Cuomo, it was Cuomo denies. It was woman accuses, and then the other thing with Cuomo, Cuomo says he's sorry for being offensive. Cuomo said. It's all like, and again, I get it. Chris works at the network, and I would respect it if they just said that's what they do. But it's so funny how, with the other stories, it was the woman's voice. It was the woman's voice, and with this story, it is Cuomo's rational explanation. Even one thing they put New York Times, boom, and then the headline. Like they wouldn't even own that they were talking about it. They put it on the New York Times. It's really funny to watch how they cut. And it's like, again, I don't know. Maybe he was just joking. I actually like Cuomo. I'm not saying he's guilty. Just Jesus Christ, don't be that obvious about what your fucking bias is. Jesus Christ, give the illusion that you're covering it.
He got away with killing all those old people. It seems like he's not getting away with this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any interest in seeing him proved guilty or innocent. Like there's no investment.
It's just
in him
interesting
at
to
all.
watch.
It's interesting to watch the coverage from the different and that Kavanaugh one though is a blatant and obvious way that they do it. And it just, again, they all say that they look, Trump got elected because the country is the way it is. The country is not the way it is because of Trump. He got elected because it is the way it is. So anyone who confuses themselves about that, anyway, whatever. I'm
Jim,
babbling.
Let's get out of here.
Let's.
Anything you missed on anything you missed on today's show?
Yeah.
First hour replays next, and then you can listen to Jim and Sam whenever you want on demand on the SiriusXM app. All our videos are up there too. You can get the new Chip Chipperson podcast right now, and you can also get the new Not Sam Wrestling podcast if you're a big giant wrestling nerd. All right, so enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow.